What a finish! What a man!
The drum roll finishes, and the target is
and it comes on finals night, and it's a knockout
Andreas Dirty Harrison! Van Velzen!
those little connecting shots that take him out of that power scoring phase into the checkout. Hold on, you called this to Harrison earlier on.
Leg, Andreas Harrison.
That's a little bit tricky, could recover it. Oh, what a dart that was from Steve West. Breaks Steve West once again, tops 2 darts in hand, only needs the one. Sure about that play. See how he's had to move across the hockey there to try and open up the bed. He's found it in the corner.
Tommy Lisman.
When he watches this back as Painter looks at 120 to level this game up at 1-1. I haven't seen a ton plus checkout yet tonight.
Game shot in the second
up
leg.
Until then.
Painter.
It's the second night's worth of action in Group B. Welcome along to the live lounge in Portsmouth and welcome along to Pluto TV. Hello, good evening. Welcome along to the action. It's been a day that's been difficult for some to stomach, that's for sure. And earlier on today, we saw a couple more players make it through to tomorrow evening's finale. 3 more spots are on offer come the end of the evening session tonight. And we're going to watch it all in the company of the multiple World Championship participant, Matthew Edgar. This afternoon was an enjoyable affair. Tonight, intriguing. It looks like we kind of know the top 3, but actually the 2 players outside the spots, they played their part yesterday.
Fair assessment, really. Very close in Group C. We've kind of know, in theory, the destiny of one of the players here, which means there's 2 players still available. Kevin Edwards last night would have felt a little bit harshly treated by. If he can replicate that performance, he's going to play a part tonight for sure.
Let's go back to this afternoon. Keegan Brown won the group in the end. 18 points to his name. Looked very good, didn't he, in the second portion of the week?
He did, and I was worried about Keegan Brown as the week went on. I thought he'd start to struggle, but I think the real story here is the 2 players playing the last game, both going through. Scott Baker didn't know, Keegan Brown did. Keegan probably a little bit more used to the permutations, knows that by winning that group that he win that game, he won the group. Scott Baker, you can just see the relief in him there. Scott Baker really did sort of struggle throughout the day, just sort of stumbled over the line at times, but he's in. Keegan Brown, if he can replicate some of the performances that he put in this afternoon, he's going to be a genuine threat come Saturday.
Scott Baker joined him, and we now know half of the field for Saturday evening's finale here in Portsmouth. Derek Coulson won Group A on Wednesday afternoon, and that Group B in the middle of your picture there is what we're going to see this evening. This is how the table looks in Group B as we head into tonight's action. It's Steve West that leads Group B. Group B doesn't lead Group B. I suppose Group B would lead Group B. But anyway, let's move on. Andreas Harrison in second position on 6 points. Tommy Lisman in third on 4. Painter and Edwards are 2. Kevin's are 2 players outside the qualification spots. Steve West perfect on night 1. In terms of results, it was perfect, but he'll probably be the first to admit there was probably a little bit more left out there. He kind of squeezed that lemon, didn't he, for all it's worth?
That was his assessment, wasn't it? When Steve came up here at the end of the show yesterday, he was up here for a good 8 to 10 minutes, and it was great to get him just afterwards, get that reflection. He's just won 4 from 4, beating the likes of Andreas Harrison, one of the most successful players we have at the Super Series. And he came up here, and it wasn't, look at me, it was, I didn't feel right. It didn't quite happen, but the results did. And sometimes you don't have to feel at your absolute best, and that is the sign of a quality player. You don't have to come here and play your absolute best, but you can still win all 4 games. That is a good sign for Steve, because he knows if he does click and he plays well, that he could go on and pick up this title. A lot of money on the line here.
Let's have a look at the odds. And you said yesterday Andreas Harrison at 4 to 6 wasn't value, but if you invert the numbers the other way around, is he at 6 to 4?
I think he's a little bit stingy. I think maybe should be a little bit bigger, but now he's starting to represent some value. If he wins that head-to-head clash with Steve West, it all starts to change. They'll be on level points, and it's how do they get on against the rest of the field. Steve West, we know from his assessment, it hasn't been his absolute best. But Andreas Harrison, we've got to give him the same build-up. He hasn't been his reliable, consistent self. And there's been vulnerabilities. And that's not something we normally say with Andreas Harrison. Is there value at 6-4? There's got to be, haven't they? Because surely he's got to click at some point. Tonight could be the night. 18
plus, gambleware.org if you're going to have a flutter on the Super Series this evening. Right, let's get into the first match of the night session. It's a meeting between Steve West and Tommy Lisman. A win for Steve would be enough to qualify him through to tomorrow night's final. For Tommy Lisman, he played some good stuff yesterday, just couldn't get them points on the board. 4 of them overnight in a qualifying position, but looking to kick on. Earlier on this evening, I caught up with Steve to talk about his first night and looking ahead to this evening's play. Steve, great night in terms of results yesterday. Do you feel like you kind of squeezed the lemon for all it's worth?
Yeah, we pushed the limits a little bit last night. The first game straight away with Kev was a bit of a battle. And then Mr. Painter after that was a battle as well. But yeah, all in all, I feel like I've done the job I came here to do.
Was it all about chipping away at points yesterday? Yeah,
it's a long day, wasn't it? And then, you come here late in the evening and probably not fully focused on what you got to do. And then all of a sudden you've got to be on it. It's a struggle, but we'll get through it.
Into tonight, I'm assuming it's just intensity from the get-go, no complacency set in, anything like that?
Yeah, I'm just going to approach it the same as I did last night, and hopefully that works out. I mean, they're all going to be gunning for me, so, I've just got to watch my back a little bit.
But you kind of enjoy that bit, though, don't you? You enjoy that air of competition. If someone's going to give it to you, you like to give it back, don't you?
Yeah, it's a case of showing them who's boss, if you like. I don't mean to be, big-headed or anything like that, but you just know that if someone's going to give it to you, you've got to fight. And that sort of, sometimes you can go in there a little bit complacent, not be fully focused, and then all of a sudden you've lost 2 games to people you probably should be beating, or in your head you think you should be beating, and it gets difficult as you go along.
And in terms of this group, it's been another one of those tough weeks for Steve West, hasn't it? There's been some good games, good opposition.
Some good, some really poor, but as a whole, I look at this week and I think it's been pretty successful up to this point.
And what would another Saturday here mean to you?
Yeah, it's always special to be here on a Saturday night. The crowds are always pretty decent, apart from a few old stragglers. But, as a whole, I enjoy it. I love being here. I love playing on a Saturday night. It's where I play my better stuff.
And we always enjoy watching you here. Steve, all the very best this evening.
Cheers, Emery. Thank you.
So Steve West takes on Tommy Lisman, the first game of Friday night session, the last game of Thursday evening's action. And looks like Steve West is very much looking forward to the night's action here at the Live Lounge in Portsmouth. Always a very jovial character is Steve West. And always very open, frank and honest in his appraisal of things, whether they be good or whether they be bad. But it's been very, very good as far as this Group B campaign is concerned. In terms of results, still feels there's a little bit more in the tank. Does the 50-year-old from Waterlooville, 5-time a weekly winner here in the past, up against a man in Tommy Lisman, who is a 2-time weekly finalist in his previous appearances. He'll be hoping that he's not going back to hold following the end of the evening's action.
Game on!
Owen Binks is one of the world's very best at what he does. An international referee who has got one of the brightest futures in the game. And we at the Modus Super Series are very lucky to have his services this evening like we do most days. It's Steve West to get us underway on this Friday night under the lights here at the Live Lounge in Portsmouth. It's a superb weekend worth of sport that's getting underway this evening. The Lions take on Australia tomorrow morning in the first test. The Open Championship Golf is taking place at Royal Portrush. The quarterfinals of the UEFA Women's European Championships are taking place. And on top of that, the World Match Play at the iconic Winter Gardens in Blackpool starts tomorrow. But sandwiched in the midst of all of that is another couple of days of Modus Super Series action. And, well, Tommy Lisman setting the stall out straight away with a free visit the score. It's going to be a long night. It's going to be a long night, Matt. It's been a long week.
100.
Well, the one thing Steve West's got to be a little bit careful of, yes, it's okay to be honest and open and almost critical of your own performances,
81.
but if any of the
Tommy
players was
McGuire,
to
170.
what Steve West said at the end of yesterday, you'd think vulnerability. And if I watched that and I listened to that, I would have been like, right, get stuck into him early, which is what Tommy
75.
Lisman is doing here. And I can give you an exact example of this. Went to a European tour once, and my opponent put on his social media, on his Twitter
44.
account, that he's struggling at the moment.
95.
And he's not finding his flow in practice. I went into that game completely full of confidence, knowing if I could take an early lead, I was going to go and run away with it. I wonder if Steve's just
79.
sent up the distress signals and people have seen a little bit of weakness.
It's a decent start from Toy, but
43.
it should be
Tommy
said as well
requires
that Steve
60.
didn't really get out the traps in his opening match of yesterday evening's action. Had to survive a lot of misses of Kevin Edwards in his opening game. Is he having to survive some misses from Lisman in his opening leg?
On the first leg.
Well, the
Tommy
double
Lisman.
two is found, and the man from Hull gets a break.
Second leg, it's Tommy to throw first. Game on. 60. $140.
There'll be people at home, though, sat here thinking, what on earth is Steve West on about? The man's just won 4 from 4. How is he not playing well? Sometimes it's not just about the
43.
results. It's about how you feel intrinsically. And what's happening in regards to how other people perform against you. And you picking up results sometimes doesn't change that psychology.
60.
Because for Steve West, he knows what it's like to play well. He knows what it's like to feel right. When he just gets the grip in the hand, just passes it over and it just, there it is. Doesn't have to look at the dart,
60.
doesn't have to feel up and down the barrel.
Well, the numbers suggest that Steve West was right in his appraisal because he had the second lowest running average of the night and the second lowest checkout
95.
percentage of the night yesterday. But it was the timing of the stuff that was all important. His highest average of the evening was 90.29. But it doesn't matter if you do the right thing at the right time.
43.
That's exactly what he did, and that's the reason why he won 4 out of 4.
Winners win, Henry. How many times do we look at people and go, look at the monstrous averages they're playing. How are they not winning?
56.
It's the difference between a good player and someone who knows how to win, someone who's got good match play. I mean, we bring up Darryl Pilgrim for so many good
100.
reasons here at the Super Series. The
require
best
150.
averages galore is on the stat sheets for most things. But how long did it take him to actually get a tour card?
50.
Despite the fact he was averaging so well all the time, averaging better than anybody else.
Well, he had that mug of highest average of the year, didn't he? Once upon a time on the Pro Tour.
54.
Granted, he played
Stephen
one game
Maguire,
and averaged
100.
98, but...
Stats are stats.
And this is for Tom plus checkout.
62.
Double 19 doesn't go,
Tommy
and so
require
Lisman for a 2-0 lead,
141.
looking at 141.
He's done this before, hasn't he?
Infamously, round about this time last year. Last time he hit one of
99.
these finishes, Lee
David
Cox
Maguire,
did so not
38.
too long before.
He's just tried to leave 2. Well, that was a safe dart. Didn't really commit to that throw, did he?
30. Tommy require
When
42.
you've not come into the night feeling like you're playing at your best, the last thing you want to do is start missing doubles early on. Feel like you're chasing a little bit and just stretching the back of the shoulders there. Steve West trying to get a little bit into the rhomboid.
26.
Deep blowing muscle in the
Steve
shoulders.
require
Helps with
8.
the movement of the shoulder blades.
Game shot on the second leg. Steve
Well,
West.
West eventually on the board, level at 1 apiece. Not a classic so far
Third
this
leg, it's
game.
Steve to throw first. Game on.
Neither player really finding a rhythm up to press.
$60.
Steve West already on 8 points. A win here would pretty much seal it, don't you think? Oracle of Super
Well,
Series knowledge.
10 points in this scenario is going to be enough to get him through to
87.
Saturday evening's finale here in the Live Lounge in Portsmouth. It would mean that he'd be in with a chance of winning a record-extending 6th weekly title.
140.
And of course, Harrison with a win would make it 5 weekly wins and join Steve West on that number. So a lot could happen.
Oh, it's going to take some winning, though, this week, isn't it?
82.
Derek Coulson, exceptional talent already there. Keegan Brown played phenomenal in Group C at times. Scott
45.
Baker, we know how dangerous he is. Pro Tour semi-finalist.
Well, for example, we have a look at the Champions Week lineup so far. And there's some
11.
really good names. There's experienced names. There's people that have been there and done it. Jess Smith, Scott Taylor, John O'Shea,
55.
Shane McGurk, Andy Hamilton, Adam Gavlas, Jimmy Van Schie.
123.
And of course, last week, Graham Usher adding his name to the
140.
Champions Week Roll of Honour. Well, that has to be said, last night's session was a really good session of darts, running average of
128. Stevie requires
86 and a
61.
half. Tommy Nishman actually was the best player last night in terms of the overall averages, 91.16 was his overall
41.
running stats for the
Tommy
night last
requires
night.
70.
And he's now having a look at this 70 to open up a 2-1 lead in this game. And he's going to have a look at double 12, his favourite
Game
double
shot
on the
on
board.
third leg.
And a
Tommy
double,
Lishman.
which puts in 2-1 to the good, break in hand.
Fourth leg, it's Tommy to throw first. Game on.
Well, he's trying to smile through the pain. Steve West at the back of the stage just trying to get his mojo together.
45.
In fact, the stats for last night are really good. Just putting all the players together.
60.
Running stats combined of 86.63. And overall checkouts, 34.34%. We saw a lot of legs yesterday as well.
96.
Out of a possible 70 that could have been played, 57 were. Not as much as Group C on Thursday.
100.
84 legs were played. Out of a possible 105.
100.
I think for the Kevins of this group,
100.
they'll probably be hoping that Steve West actually does get the victory here. Victory of Tom and Lishman would open the gap in regards to qualification. And we did in Group A get it all done and dusted very early.
44.
Group C went a bit closer to the wire. Group B could be following the Group A campaign in regards to problems in the qualification. Because 4 points is a lot to turn
81.
around in when you've only got 8 really to play for. Especially when Kevin Edwards' first game actually is up against Andreas Harrison. That's not an ideal way to start proceedings when you're 6 points off the pack.
44. Steve, you require 160.
Well, yeah, and if Steve West can get the job done effectively, he's playing for you in all the other matches that he's involved in tonight. He's got 6 starts at 160 to get the break back
100.
into level this contest up at 2 apiece.
Not a bad tag team partner to send into bat for you, is it? Steve West.
Well, one of the most
92.
successful players
Steve,
in this
you require
building.
60.
One of the best to have ever done it here.
Game shot on the
Finds the
fourth
tops,
leg.
and we are
Steve
back
West.
level at 2-2. And all of a sudden, with the game back on throw,
Fifth leg, it's Steve
that's
to
a
throw
couple of
first.
legs away
Game
from making it through. Well, Tommy Lishman's finding the funny side of all of it. Steve just trying to focus in because he knows if he can win this game, then he's got the luxury of the rest of the night just to
140.
try and gear himself up ahead of Saturday's showpiece finale here. And there is actually a possibility if
100.
certain results go in a certain pattern that a bit like Group C will kind of have it wrapped up rather quickly.
88. $92.
Tommy Lisman would have a game to wait before coming back on against Kevin Painter, and I think there'll be a lot of eyes on Kevin tonight. I think a lot of people were sort of hoping on winning on last
96.
night, wasn't they? And the encouraging signs that were shown, I think there'll be people really hoping for a little bit more of that from the artist. Maybe not if you're supporting Tommy Lisman, of course.
82.
Well, this game really is in the offing.
125.
He's piling in a couple of big trebles, leaving himself on 52 after 12. Lisman being forced into a similar visit of his own.
57. Steve, you're required
So this
52.
to move himself 3-2 in front and to move himself 2 within a leg of qualification.
Game
That's
shot
a
on the
14
fifth leg.
darter, and all of a sudden
Steve
Steve West
West
is just beginning to put his foot on the throttle a little bit.
Sixth leg is Tommy to throw first. Game on.
1 leg away from making it through. And a leg away from putting Tommy Lisman in a bit of bother.
60.
Because say, for example, Kevin Painter beats Tommy Lisman in the next. He's left on 4 points. And actually, Tommy Lisman could be a little bit vulnerable as well when it comes to the legs difference.
140.
If Tommy Lisman doesn't go through, he'll look back on this game and kick himself, because Steve West was averaging in the mid-60s for the early parts of this match, and Tommy
100.
Lisman ended up being in a battle somehow. Missed opportunity potentially here. Steve West isn't going to play like that for the entirety of the game. You give him some hope
41.
and encouragement, and he runs away with it. One of those give him an inch, take a mile type of players.
Well, this has kind of typified his Group B so far. Hasn't played anywhere near his best, but when
100.
presented with an opportunity from his opponent, he has taken full advantage.
That's all you got to do. You don't have to beat everyone with 100 average. Yes, it's nice.
125.
Yes, it makes you feel good and look amazing, but you still only get 2 points through it at the end of the day. The priority is to play the best darts on
140.
Saturday. That's where the big money is. That's where the golden ticket lies.
And I've already heard from a very
85.
good source
Tommy Brook,
that
101.
there's going to be a few in the building, and a fair few in the building for Keegan Brown. Lisman going for the bullseye on 10. Oh my.
45. Steve, you're required 110.
Well, it was a bit chaotic. And this could be... And I think as a consequence, Steve West has decided to go for the bullseye. And actually, it was quite lucky at the single
31.
nine because the shot was still
Tommy
on.
required 56.
I have no idea what they're doing here. You can only call it as it is, and I think both of those are a bit ridiculous of a route. Making what's a difficult game even harder.
Game shot on the sixth leg. Tommy Lisman.
And after all that, we go all the
Seventh
way
and final leg, it's Steve
to a
throw
last leg
first.
decider.
Game on.
Tell you what, the players are making Owen Binks' content this week a little bit easier, aren't they? As he's no doubt going to be breaking that one down as well. Why on earth would you go
58.
this way for the finish? And he'll talk about the different permutations and the pros and cons. And I think there's going to be more cons than pros in those routes.
Where do you reckon he'll film it from? Chip shop? Pier?
140.
Bedroom?
Strange takeaway from that point there, Henry.
59.
I see he films loads of stuff in loads of places. He did a TikTok live from a TikTok live for a music venue once.
All right, we're doubling down.
Yes, I am.
54.
There he is, Mr. Binks.
It's all action and important right now on the board. Steve West's blocked that up.
43.
I think he was switching over to the 18s there. Well, Lisman may finally be taking advantage
99.
here of the missed opportunities from Steve West. This has to be a maximum, you feel. Otherwise, he's still behind the throat. Lishman's broke him. He's broke the
41.
darts. 100 advantage plus these. This is a good composed leg. This is what you normally would expect from Steve West.
140.
Instead, he's having it done to him.
And all of a sudden, it goes the other way around. Now Steve West would be the one that's kicking himself. That's how
45.
crazy a game it's been.
Tommy requires
A
68.
lot of kicking going on.
For the match, 68 and plenty of time. 48 leaves double 10.
Game
And that double
shot
10
on the match.
secures a
Tommy
4-3 win for
Lisman.
Tommy Lisman. And for a while, that could have got a little bit dicey for the man from Hull. And Steve West looked as if he was charging his way through to Saturday night's final with time to spare. But Lisman manages to get over the line. He wins 4-3. Coming up next, Kevin Edwards takes on Andreas Harrison.
$54. Charlie require 164. $44. $32. Charlie require 120.
Well, 120. He's got a fair, at least 2 handfuls at this. Just needs to stay
60.
there. That's a good shot. Halves his score. Leaves himself on a 2-darter.
$26. Charlie
Time on his
require
side
60.
to become back-to-back singles champion.
$40.
Definitely a couple of nerves in those last 2 darts. But he'll be coming back.
It's a moment he's been in before this situation. Standing at the back of the
81.
stage,
Charlie
approaching the
requires
jockey with a
20.
chance to win the title.
He did this to win the first title, if you remember.
11.
I think he's gone.
Georgia
I think
require
he's gone to
118.
bust it, maybe. The first title he won, he wanted 20. He went 6-7-7 to win it. He had a chance to replicate it again.
Yeah, I get the feeling that was for a bust, and
39.
on that situation there,
require
George SCAIFE wasn't even
9.
able to take it out going to the 18s on that switch.
Yeah, I think he just panicked a bit, but he's done well to get that big one.
Sometimes
1.
can be the hardest part.
Georgia requires
This is it.
79.
It's got to be 19s. It's got to be 19s for this shot. Big 20 and a double. He's got the first one. He's going to get a match dart here.
$59. Charlie
Threw the entire
require
body into that
8.
one. Just didn't want to let go of the dart.
No score.
He's given George a chance.
Georgia require 20.
I think George has been quite good on double 10 today.
So many opportunities for Charlie Murphy.
Go
Couldn't get the
gets
job
it.
done.
Got in the match, and the Red Dragon
George
Modus
SCAIFE.
Super Series Influencers Champion, George SCAIFE.
Welcome back to the Modus Super Series. Before the break, Tommy Lisman got the better of Steve West by 4 legs to 3, inflicting a first defeat upon Steve in this group. Moves him on to 6 points, and it makes this game pretty much a cup final for Kevin Edwards against Andreas Harrison, who can go to the top of the league table with a win by a couple of legs here against the man from Mace. Let's find out a little bit more then about both of the players. Kevin Edwards here once again, the 52-year-old from Great Bentley, former semi-finals. He did so on his debut. Now that the best part of 2.5 years ago now. How quickly does the time go? Andreas Harrison won his Series 7 title what, about 15 months ago when he beat Cam Crabtree in the final? In that thrilling finale here at the Live Lounge in Portsmouth. And he is looking for a 7th title here. He's won 4 weekly titles. He's won a Champions Week. He's won a Specials Week. And he's looking to taste that bit of Portsmouth success again.
First leg, it's Kevin to throw first. Game on.
Deserved more than nothing, didn't he, yesterday, Kevin Edwards? He played a lot better than a player who walked away with 0 points. And I think if he repeats the performance tonight,
100.
he's surely going to pick something up. It's just unfortunate for him that he's having to go up against Andreas Harrison in his opening game. Andreas Harrison looking to go through the gears a little
83.
bit tonight, you feel. Maybe will be prim and fresh with his preparation that he's had today. Maybe not the preparation that Henry Deacon subscribed this afternoon. If you tuned in, Henry advised players to go for a jog before their match. Andreas Harrison, though, has been in the sea.
Yep, went for a swim and said that the water was very
100.
cold.
Obviously, never known the sea to be warm.
Well, there were parts of the world where the sea is warm. Yeah, said he went for a little cold water
100.
dip down by the hot walls, which is somewhat ironic, in Portsmouth, and said he enjoyed it very much.
It's meant to be good for the
100.
neurosystem, isn't it? The
Enemy
neural
require
pathways.
121.
Well, that's why they say having a cold shower is good for you, don't they? That's why, like,
59.
when you watch professional footballers and whatever, that's why they go in ice baths and things like that to help with the bones and the muscles and things like that.
100. Kevin, you require
I'll never forget.
62.
I'll never forget going to pre-season training at a non-league football club once, as Edwards looks at double 16.
30.
Doesn't go.
Andreas, you
So
require
Harrison,
180.
looking at 118 for the break in the opening leg. Single 18 leads tops. Tops it is. Oh, well, that's
83.
sifted wide into the
Kevin, you
5.
require 32. Game shown the first leg. Kevin Edwards.
I've got the feeling if Andreas Harrison turns
Second
up
leg is
tonight,
Andreas
pops in a
to throw
9
first.
darter, has the
Game.
performance of his life, big finishes, 100+ averages, we may see a lot of dart players going in the sea.
Yes.
135.
I never forget the times in non-league football where you'd see green bins. You know the green bins that you send out for the dust people? For the dustbin people? Well, they just put a
57.
load of water and ice in it. Happens every year. We used to have a fake jacuzzi once upon a time at a football club I worked at. Little jacuzzi
60.
to use it as an ice bath. Anyway, moving on.
$41.
And for Andreas, Portsmouth must now feel like
82.
somewhat of a second home for him. Spent enough time here over the last 3 years or so.
The place where he's really come to the forefront, isn't it? And there's been a lot of players like that come here to the Super Series without really having a reputation, and by the time they depart us, there's a lot of eyes
100.
on them, ready to see what they go to do next. I know there's a lot of eyes right now on Derek Coulson. There'll be eyes on him tomorrow. The winner of Group A.
140.
There's a lot of conversation about him right now, what his future may entail.
Harrison looking for the 1-2-4. Didn't have to chase around the bullseye.
84.
Harrison back for tops to square this game up at one
140.
apiece.
Andreas, you require 40. Game shown the second leg.
And a level game we
Andreas
have, one
Harrison.
apiece.
Third leg, it's Kevin to throw first. Game on. 100. 100.
Well, we speak about the career plan and the trajectory of Derek Coulson, but what about of Andreas? He's openly said that he wants to get his tour card sooner rather than later. He's
60.
got that elusive Ali Pali debut to look forward to in December. What do you think the future looks like for him?
140.
I can give you a couple of answers. I can give you my opinion, which I think he will go get a card. I think he's ready. I can give you the other answer where I think
140.
I'm not sure if he believes he's ready. Through conversations I've had with Andreas Harrison away from this arena, would just make me question a little
81.
bit if that mindset's just quite ready yet. That is something that's very easy to work on, though. And he has been advised
180.
on the areas to which to get himself ready for January. That's it. You've got to work on all areas of your game. It's not just throwing darts at the board.
140. Andreas, you require
Although
121.
when he throws darts at the board at this checkout, he's normally got quite a good success rate. You've named this the Harrison.
Game shot.
And for the third time this week, he's taken it out.
Harrison.
It's a Harrison hat-trick.
Fourth leg is Andreas to throw first. Game on.
Get me in that sea.
No context, Matthew Edgar.
100.
Well, Kevin Evans, what you're thinking, it's happening again. Averaging 98 and yet
100.
finds himself 2-1 behind and a break behind. They've topped after 12, didn't get a go, and now Harrison breaking that previous
121.
leg, and he's just carrying on, averaging 101.34.
Well, the rest at the start of the show is 6-4 value now on Andreas Harrison. It may
59.
well be. Steve West lost his opening game. Andreas Harrison showing levels, and his next game is against Steve West. This could turn around very, very quickly where Andreas Harrison
50.
makes that 6-4 look very, very silly.
The keys to success of the Super Series. Shave your head, jump in the sea, and grow a great big beard.
54.
I mean, you've also got to be good at darts as well.
But that would help.
180.
This guy's good.
He is world class. And he is world class. He could mix it with anybody in any arena.
96. Andreas, you require 50.
Imagine a team of Jeffrey de Graaf and Andreas Harrison representing Sweden at the World Cup. That
Game
could be a
on the
case.
fourth leg.
Because with darts like this, not only would you get to the
Harrison.
tour, but you'd go up the rankings very quickly. And that would
Fifth
be
leg,
a
it's Kevin to
partnership
throw
that I
first.
think could
Game on.
go on to do the likes of what Belgium did a few years ago with Kim Huybrechts and Dimitri Vandenberg when they came with the pace. The likes of the Republic of Ireland
96.
when William O'Connor and Keane Barry reached the final. What about Mensah Suljevic and Roby John Rodriguez? Them pairs can make the final. I am confident that Andreas Harrison and Jeffrey de Graaf
100.
could follow suit.
Well, if I'm right in saying, Andreas played a couple of years ago with Jeffrey, did he? Or am I getting my wires mixed up before Victor and Oscar got tour cards?
Even if he
43.
did, that Andreas Harrison right there is a very different Andreas Harrison.
Well, put it this way. Take out Jeffrey de Graaf, because Jeffrey
180.
de Graaf is a world-class operator. And this is about disrespect to the other two Swedish players on tour, but he's better than them two.
96.
I would go as far to say I think Andreas Harrison would give Jeffrey de Graaf a right good game. I think they're
137.
pretty level in regards to ceilings.
Well, particularly with performances like this. 106.84 the average, 3 from 5 in terms of his doubling. 1-2-1 checkout, 14 done in
58.
back-to-back legs. Kevin Edwards averaging
Andreas
90.
Schubert,
Hasn't had a
84.
look in really in this game. And Andreas could round it off with a potential 11-dart leg if he finds double 18. And now double 9.
66.
Not to be, but he's got plenty of time on his side. Kevin Edwards has played out of his skin at times this week, and yet
100
he's
on
getting
the ratio
absolutely
required,
no
18.
change because he's being hit by big performances time after time. Yes, it was 103 by Tommy Lisman, and against Andreas Harrison, he's been hit with another average, which is effectively 103. 102.92 in the end, and Andreas Harrison is off to a super start. If at times he's been a little bit patchy this week, is he just saving his best stuff for the championship rounds? He gets the better of Kevin Edwards by 4 legs to 1. Those are the numbers there. An incredible performance from Andreas. Coming up after the break, Tommy Lisman takes on Kevin Painter. Welcome back to the Modus Super Series. Before the break, Andreas Harrison put down a statement performance in getting the better of Kevin Edwards by 4 legs to 1 average, just under the 103 mark, 3 180s, 4 for 9 on his doubles, and the trademark Harrison 1-2-1 finish. Game 3 is a meeting between Tommy Lisman and Kevin Painter. Tommy already with a win under his belt tonight, a 4-3 win against Steve West. As for Kevin, he's getting his evening underway. As for Tommy, if he wins this one, well, we could pretty much know the top order come the end of the third game of the night, because he would join Steve West and Andreas Harrison on 8. Kevin Painter would only be able to get to a maximum of 8 points in the group, and it would also mean that Kevin Edwards' very slim
First
chances
leg,
would
it's Tommy
come
to
to
throw
a close.
first. Game on.
It looks like, potentially, we might be in a position where we may know the 3 players that are coming out of this group very, very quickly.
100. 26.
Played well, didn't he, last night, Kevin Painter? But I think my concern was
91.
always, what's it going to be like across 2 days? And the reason for that is, I remember start of last year, I was asked to fill in and cover a place that became available at a very short notice. And
96.
I stepped into a Group B, and night 1 was fine, got 6 points from 8. Night 2, it was almost like I couldn't even feel the dart in my hand. It was very, very different. And
140.
you know, when you give that first aid, that bit of encouragement, sometimes it can be a bit of a negative when you've got to come back and play as many games again the next day.
95.
Kevin,
Tommy
though,
require
a very
170.
strong in the mind player. I'm sure we'll be battling out this evening, looking to replicate that level of performance of yesterday, because there were some real good signs in there for Kevin Painter. A couple of maximums, a couple of big finishes. He was exceptional on the doubles, wasn't he, Kevin Painter, last night?
50%, 9 from 18 in terms of his doubling.
55.
That's elite.
Tommy require 110.
It was just points where he was outscored in a group filled with big scorers.
49.
Tommy Lisman has been a bit of a big scorer, hasn't he, in this Group B campaign, but it's when he comes to the back end of the legs that he's just found things a little bit tricky at
100.
times.
Tommy requires 61.
25 leaves 36.
43.
Well,
Kevin,
that
you
move on the
require
inside leaves Painter on
129.
129, and maybe, just maybe, the man whose doubling's been better than anybody could just pinch his leg because of his finishing, but can't find the treble he would have needed for a dart at the
89.
bull, which
Tommy
ironically he would have
require
got.
18.
So 2-9 to Lisman.
14.
This is exactly the point I make
Kevin,
here.
you
He's had
require
12
40.
darts from 170. Not been able to convert. This is where Kevin was so strong yesterday. Loves this target.
Game shown the first leg. Kevin Painter.
Well, that squeezes into the bottom corner.
Second leg, it's
Painter
Kevin
gets the
to
breaker
throw
throw, a
first.
leg which Tommy
Game.
Lisman dominated in terms of the scoring, but Painter able to pinch it on the doubles.
Can't give Kevin Painter a shot, that's one thing for sure. 12 darts from 170
96.
just confirms the issues that Tommy Lisman's having. It's not the front nine, that's the problem.
59.
He's okay chipping him up to the greens, but he's unable to get his putter in good use.
Which just tells me maybe he hasn't quite worked out his practice routines as of yet.
94.
Certainly when it comes around to a bit of board mastery, moving around the board. He's still quite new to this level of darts, and those little percentages
128.
can get you found out. A lot of it can come down to just doing the right things in the practice room, playing the right games, not just pounding the treble 20 and trying to find the maximums.
80.
The old hat stand.
But quietly here, Kevin Painter's beginning to really assume control of the game. Now, Tommy got off to a slow start in his game against Steve West. Luckily for him, Steve struggled as the game came towards a close. He was able to catch up and then win 4-3.
$107.
Leaves himself 167. There was a moment in his first game against Steve where there was a couple of question marks over his use of the bullseye, but that absolutely perfect.
He likes using the ball, doesn't he? He likes to incorporate it in part of his finishes and his setup plays. Last night he incorporated it as part of his scoring routine.
171.
Is a quality
Tommy
piece of
require
scoring routine.
167.
167 for Lisman, and you get the sense he's going to have to take it. Bullseye. We know he's good on this target. He is very good on that target. And he needed to find that 167 with painter points on double 11. And his opponent can respect that kind of quality.
Game on.
He knew he had an opportunity to go 2-0 up. And in the background, he's probably thinking, how's your luck?
That was a bit of quality. That is 9 perfect darts now between the pair. Kevin Painter, the 171, the 167 checkout, followed by the max. We are having some perfection here as we get into the business end of Group B.
100.
And I just wonder how one moment could just swing the whole trajectory of this game, because I think it felt, from our perspective, as soon as Painter hit that 171 to leave himself on double 11, that he had an opportunity to really take charge of the game. Lisman put the boot in, found the 167. And with that maximum, has basically said to Kev, what can you muster, pal?
$92. $180.
2 maximums in this leg. Tommy Lisman is literally putting the foot on the
42.
throttle now,
Tommy
isn't he?
requires
He's making a
60.
move. Potentially 11 dart leg. He's got to watch the angle of entry, hasn't he?
50.
Things could get a little bit tricky over there for him. We saw how he sort of threw very safely at the double 9 earlier on.
Well, that's always the danger with double 10 and your opponent's not on a finish. When you go
125.
inside, you could leave yourself with
Tommy requires
unnecessary
10.
drama. But that's a beautiful guide for double 5. In off.
Game
Had
on
to
the
be an
third
in off.
leg. Tommy
And it clipped
Lisman.
off the barrel of the second dart into the bottom right-hand corner. And
Full flag,
Lisman
it's
finds
Kevin to
himself
throw
2-1 to the
first.
goods.
Game on.
You've got to say that Tommy Lisman has done something that only quality operators can do. His back was against the wall, found that moment of quality, and is then kicked on as a result. And he's really put it upon
140.
Kev to conjure something up.
$95. $30. $180.
Things have changed very quickly, haven't they, for Tommy Lisman? A third maximum in the last couple of legs. And this could end up
23.
reading very bad for the Group B table. Could be a case where we're not talking about who's getting through to Saturday. It's who's going to win the group will be the only conversation left to have.
And even that could be over at the end of the next game because it's Andreas Harrison against Steve West.
134.
We might need to do some crosswords in the second half of the night, Matt. Well, Lisman here has gone through the
100.
gears.
Tommy, you require.
And I think actually,
92.
prior to this week, there was maybe a couple of question marks over the name of Tommy Lisman. Well, so far in this game, he's answering them as he goes double-double. He's got plenty of time
56.
to win this leg. We've seen him do good things, and I suppose the question naturally is, once we've seen that happen once, A, can he replicate, and B, has he got that next level in his locker?
$44. Tommy, you require 36.
So, double 18 for 3-1.
Game shot on the fourth
14
leg.
darter
Tommy
breaker
Lisman.
throw, and Tommy Lisman now has the darts for the match.
Fifth leg, it's Tommy to throw first. Game on.
And this game can be categorised by 3 darts.
180.
Those 3 darts at 167 as he piles in a max is 4 for the game.
45.
The record in maximums is 7, hit by Mark Dudbridge against Wes Newton. You feel if Tommy Lisman is to beat that, there's going to have to be a lot more legs.
140.
But the way he's playing. Power scoring here from Lisman is exceptional.
85.
He's one of them players that makes me feel physically sick because he just makes it look so effortless. Just look at it. It's just as if he's just strolling around, just, you know, playing around on the board at home or down his
81.
local. He's worked hard in his game, but it just looks so effortless.
140. Tommy require 100.
97.34 is his average as he looks around this game off of a second ton topper. Tops. First one's found perfect for a second. There was no way he was going to miss the second.
Tommy Lisman.
And Tommy Lisman has put himself on the hill. Kevin Painter has to be perfect from this point onwards, and he needs huge slits from those above him. But what a performance that was from Tommy Lisman. 2 ton plus checkouts, including the 167, rounded off with a ton. He wins 4-1. Andreas Harrison against Steve West is up next. The winner will guarantee of their spot through. Are you ready to lift that trophy, Darius?
Yes.
Let's do it then.
Ladies and gentlemen, your Modus Super Series 9 champion is Lucky D, Darius Labanowski!
Well, what a wonderful night of darts we have seen, and we are ready. Our champion is ready, and it's trophy time. So receive the trophy. £25,000. The new Modus Super Series champion, the Terminator, Marvin Van Velzen. And one more time, the 8th Modus Super Series champion, the Terminator, Marvin Van Velzen. And the new Modus Super Series champion is Andreas Dirty Harrison. And one more time, the 7th Modus Super Series champion. Give it up for Andreas Dirty Harrison!
The moment we've all been waiting for. Would you please show your appreciation for your Series 6 Modus Super Series champion, Scott Taylor!
One more time, your new Modus Super Series champion. He is Chucky. He is Jim McEwen.
Ladies and gentlemen, your Modus Super Series champion, retaining his title, the Nuke, Luke Lisman!
Welcome back to Pluto TV's continuing coverage of the Modus Super Series. Before the break, Tommy Lisman with an average of 97.44 got the better of Kevin Painter by 4 legs. A couple of ton plus checkouts in there. 4 180s en route to that win against KP. And it means that the race to qualify through is pretty much all but over now. Because Kevin's going to have to win every game. One of Andreas, Steve and Tommy are going to have to lose every game. And a winner of this one can guarantee 100% without any fuss or quibbles whatsoever their place through.
They both look very relaxed, don't they, coming up onto the stage in this situation. Now, normally you'd look at these two playing each other and think...
First leg, it's Andreas to throw first. Game on.
That we're going to get a very steely, very focused sort of approach, but I think they both have got the same assessment that you have, Henry Deacon, that they're probably through.
140.
My big question here is, are we going to get the same level we got for Andreas Harrison? 102.92. He took out the dirty shot, the 1-2-1 finish once again. We've been waiting for Andreas Harrison to stand up and show us the real Andreas Harrison, the guy we all know.
100.
Is that coming on Friday? Is he saving his best for the back end of the week? That's where you want it. You don't want to do all your best work on Monday and Tuesday. You want to do it Friday and Saturday.
And look, Andreas is an experienced enough campaigner to know that by now, and we've seen it. Well, when he won that Champions Week, Group A didn't go to plan, finished 5th, played his better stuff later on in the week, and they won the Champions Week.
62.
Jensen Walker, very similar story. Our reigning, defending Super Series champion.
We'll see him in the next couple of weeks. Not yet played.
100.
There's only a couple of weeks left.
I do get the feeling as well, these are two players that really enjoy playing each other. When you think about the
82.
good rivalries over the years, this is probably one of the good rivalries of the Super Series. And those rivalries are when two of the top players go head to head. They enjoy the battle.
Andreas, you're like 170.
They enjoy the challenge.
Tops.
97. Steve, you've required 74.
And so West presented with a break opportunity on 74. I think we'll see a completely different version of Steve West in this one in comparison to what we saw against Tommy Lisman.
54. Andreas, you require 20.
I just think the style of these two, the way these two
show
go
them
about it,
a
I
first
just think they
leg.
play into each other's
Andreas
hands a little
Harrison.
bit. They say that it takes two to tango, although
Second leg,
Steve
it's
looks a
Steve
little
to throw
bit
first.
hot under the
Game.
collar. It is a blisteringly hot day here in Portsmouth, and I was on the stage or in and around the stage vicinity around about an hour before we kicked off here.
57.
And I can tell you that the temperature and the conditions, they were sweltering. It's sweat-bucklingly hot.
Which you wouldn't work out by looking at Andreas Harrison. Is it hot in Sweden? Is that a hot area of the world? I don't think it is it?
No, it's one of the coldest parts of the planet. It's in the... He literally lives in the Arctic Circle.
60. $100. 140.
Well, put it this way. Where Andreas lives in Malila, in December, the high temperature is 3 degrees Celsius. January, 1 degree Celsius. It's actually one of the warmer parts of Sweden.
81.
Yeah, I've just got the sort of average temperature here. Yeah, it's I'd say England's much warmer than where Andreas Harrison's from, which is maybe a bit unusual due to the reaction here. He's dealing with it well, adapting. Maybe he's practiced and prepared for this situation.
$68 remaining.
47. Steve, you've required 89.
Steve may only get dart at a ball here to level its game up at 1 apiece. Bullseye it is.
64. Andreas, you require 48.
Break of throw opportunity.
Game.
Of
Shot the
course,
second
Andreas
leg.
Harrison cashes that one
Andreas
in. And
Harrison.
just going back to that point, actually, because it's quite interesting, because I've had a few conversations
Third leg
recently
is
with
Andreas to throw first.
a couple of
Game on.
top players, a couple of players on the PDC, and one of the players that is climbing the ladder at the moment, climbing the rankings, doing good to bits.
140.
Obviously, I'm not going to name names, but it was a really interesting conversation because said player said what they are doing right now is practicing with the windows
83.
closed to replicate a venue that is really hot. When you go to places like Wigan, it's like a tin roof. The sun
81.
bakes on there, it's like an oven. Baking hot. Hildesheim, baking hot. European tours will be baking hot for the added thing, the lights, the crowd,
22.
everything else that's in there. So he's actually practicing in uncomfortable conditions to make himself comfortable in an uncomfortable situation. Perfect. Genius.
140.
Set a dartboard up in a sauna. Crack on.
Good luck finding a sauna
60.
that's accept to them conditions.
Andreas
And
Require
is about 9
140.
foot wide.
Yes. Well, Steve West might be over hot coals here because Andreas Harrison is red hot.
120.
Shanghai setup, as you do.
I'm also not sure walking into your local leisure centre with a dartboard trellis is going to go down too well.
45. Andreas
You
Require
might have your
20.
membership revoked for that. Anyway, for 3-0, double 10.
Game shot the third leg.
14 darter.
Andreas Harrison.
Andreas Harrison, 93.94 the average, 48 darts for a 3-0 lead off the back of the
We'll get Steve to throw
102
first.
average he found against Kevin Edwards first time out.
Game. 95.
Maxi for Harrison.
180.
Now, Steve West is trying to find any which way to try and get St. going, and he's traversing all the way over the oche just to try and find the perfect angle.
60.
And he really is really getting agitated on the stage.
139.
Nearly the old Colin Lloyd. Bringing up Colin Lloyd on
140.
World Match Play Week starts tomorrow. World Match Play champion did it with a 170 finish.
Lloydie, my son, you've done it. The famous words of Sid Waddell.
130.
Andreas could get this done with an 11 darter.
100. Andreas
Been
Require
another
52.
really good display. Actually, having a look at the average again, 102.74. Peaking at the right time in the week. Could get it done with an 11 darter. Well, he is some
Game
player, isn't he?
shot of the
One of the very best that we've ever had
Andreas
here.
Harrison.
And that is an incredible display. An incredible night so far. 2 averages in excess of a ton for Andreas Harrison. And for Steve West, well, there's answers to be found for the second half of the night. So that means Andreas Harrison is through to tomorrow night's final. A 4-0 win against Steve West has booked his place into yet another Saturday night.
$54. Charlie Require 164. $44. $32. Charlie Require 120.
Well, 120. He's got a fair, at least 2 handfuls of this. Just needs to stay
60.
there. That's a good shot. Halves his score. Leaves himself on a 2 darter.
$26. Charlie
Time on his
Require
side
60.
to become mixed singles champion.
Definitely a couple of nerves in those last two darts, but he'll be coming back.
It's a moment he's been in before this situation. Standing at the back of the stage, approaching the jockey with a chance to win the title.
He did this to win the first title, if you remember.
11.
I think he's gone. I think he's gone to bust it, maybe. The first title he wanted 20. He went 6-7-7 to win it. He had a chance to replicate it again.
Yeah, I get the feeling that was for a bust. And
39.
on that situation there, George SCAIFE wasn't even able to take it out going to the 18s on that switch.
Yeah, I think he just panicked a bit, but he's done well to get that big one.
Sometimes can be the hardest part.
Georgia requires
This is it.
79.
It's got to be 19s. It's got to be 19s for this shot. Big 20 and a double. He's got the first one. He's going to get a match dart here.
$59. Charlie
Threw the entire
requires
body into that
8.
one. Just didn't want to let go of the dart.
No score.
He's given George a chance.
Georgia require 20.
I think George has been quite good on double 10 today.
So many opportunities for Charlie Murphy.
Go
Couldn't get the job
it.
done.
Got out the match, and the Red Dragon
George
Modus
SCAIFE.
Super Series Influencers Champion, George SCAIFE.
Welcome back to the Modus Super Series, where we are speeding through the matches on this Friday night. Before the break, Andreas Havison, with his second consecutive ton-plus average of the night, got the better of Steve West by 4 legs to 0. 101.9 the average for Andreas. Now, if Kevin Edwards wins this game against Kevin Painter, then everything will be settled in terms of who goes through and who doesn't go through by game number 5. Now, Andreas Havison is through. Steve West and Tommy Lisman probably are
First
through.
leg, it's Kevin Painter to throw first.
The only way that Kevin
Game
can
on.
go through is if he wins all of his remaining games and one of Steve West and Tommy Lisman lose both of their remaining games.
$56.
For Kevin Edwards, it's just continued, hasn't it? He played well again in his opening game. No reward. I think it'd be harsh on
100.
Kevin Edwards if he was to finish bottom of the table without any points.
My favourite fixture of the week, this, because it's my favourite name for a fixture this
60.
week. It is El Kevico.
$60.
Well, the artist looking to brush aside his
140.
disappointments from his opening match against Tommy Lisman, where the real turning point was the 167. Now, Painter was 1-0 up, but he had a 171 to leave himself double 11 to go 2-0 to the good. Lisman popped out the 167, and from that point onwards, really went through the gears, didn't he? Averaged just under 98 in
100.
the end in that particular match, and just had a little bit too much for KP, who leaves himself on a finish first in this opening leg.
140.
KE
145.
leaves himself on a better one. Just the one treble required for Painter. Needs to find 2. Well, there's one. Oh, he's going to get a dart at tops. What a finish that is from Kevin Painter.
Kevin Painter.
The doubles have been exceptional. The finishes have been good.
Second
Give
leg,
this
it's Kevin
guy a
Edwards to
shot,
throw
and it
first.
goes.
Game on.
Nothing to it, he says.
$100.
Always seems to happen against Kevin Edwards, doesn't it?
Yes, it's like there's a
34.
apparent trend in this Group B. Now, I don't know what Kevin Edwards has done prior to turning up to this building this week. Don't know whether he's broken a mirror. Don't know whether he's walked underneath a ladder.
95.
Don't know if he's run over a cat or something like that. But something is seemingly giving him bad luck.
Run over a cat.
Isn't that, if you run over a black cat, isn't it
84.
bad luck?
No, it's meant to walk across your path.
Oh, right.
You want to run it over? That couldn't be far away from the statement.
98.
Anyway, I should state no animals were harmed in the
140.
making of this programme.
$100.
Good leg again, though, from Kev Edwards. Down to a 1 treble combo. After just 12 darts. Solid. It's early, but he's averaging 99 and...
100. Kevin,
Baffling.
you require 108.
And Payne's in similar range to the previous leg.
It's exactly the same combination, isn't it?
60.
2 trebles required for a poke
Kevin,
at
you
the
require
outer ring.
143.
No way history could repeat itself, could it? Another big checkout going for Kevin Painter with Kevin Edwards sat in situ. Look away, Kev.
111.
Because that was
Kevin, you
scared.
require 48.
What an effort from Kevin Painter.
Game show on the second leg. Kevin Edwards.
Bit of character there as well from Kevin Edwards, who sort of been hit with a bit of
Third leg,
everything.
it's Kevin Painter to throw
You can
first.
just tell by
Game
the demeanour, the emotions, the facial reactions of Kevin Painter right now. He's enjoying this game.
Kevin Edwards is like a bowler in a test match who's thrown 6 good
95.
deliveries, but yet has been hit for 6 off of every single one of them.
on. 100.
We had a chat with Kevin Painter, didn't we, before the
99.
start yesterday as part of the Tungsten Talk series, a 20-minute or so chat that's going to be coming your way on Pluto TV in the near future. And he said in that, didn't he, how there's going to be no quit, no
60.
giving up. He's going to keep doing it as long as he possibly can. And it's for games like this, where you can just really get embroiled and sort of enjoy the battle. He's averaging 97.
He's playing very well, and there were signs, when we saw him at the seniors a couple of weeks ago, there were signs that the game was getting in a good place. The only problem he had, he was playing a very good version of Mervyn King.
$30.
And I think one thing we've got to give Kev a lot of respect for is how open he's been about everything that's happened over the last few months or so. I remember he had that difficult game. I think
60.
it was the Masters, wasn't it, of the seniors majors last year. And the next day, he went up to the balcony, did an interview with Ray Stubbs, spoke about
60.
everything as openly as he could, and actually just tried to illustrate and educate the audience at home as to what it's like when things aren't going 100% your way.
140.
Well, Edwards has left himself on 1-4-1 to get the break and open up a 2-1 advantage in the match. Remember, this for Kevin Edwards, a win would be good for everybody else in the group, bar Kevin Painter, because it would mean that everybody else is guaranteed qualification through to the finals on Saturday night.
125. Kevin Everett 141.
I don't know why, but I've got a feeling this 92 goes.
100.
Well, I
Kevin
guess
Everett
it's because of the
192.
incredible doubling percentage of Kevin Painter in this Group B campaign.
I should have said nothing.
76.
We've been thinking
Kevin
that all
Everett
day.
41.
So 41 for Kev for the break, Kev for 2-1 advantage in this game. 2 darts to double 16. Of which
Game's on
he
the
only needs
third
the
leg.
one, and Edwards finds
Kevin
himself 2-1 in
Edwards.
front. Breaking hand, couple of legs from knocking Kevin Painter out. And from
Fourth leg,
setting
it's Kevin Edwards
Mrs.
to throw
West and
first.
Lishman
Game on.
into Saturday night once again. We've actually mentioned the Tungsten Talk series. Kevin Painter's going to be the latest addition to that
121.
particular program, which we are bringing to you on Pluto TV. We've actually got a Tungsten Talk for you once we're done this evening.
85.
And it is the perfect TV for 2 a.m. because it's a Tungsten Talk with Jared Cole.
100.
Then after that, Shane McGurk has a chat with me. Not, well, to be fair, actually, he probably could have had a chat with me at 2:15 a.m. He's currently in Australia, isn't he? On an exhibition tour,
43.
followed by the best of Bradley Brooks. Then we're going on the Oki with Charlie Murphy. Highlights of the Influencer Darts. And
180.
the Fantasy Premier League with Matthew Edgar and Chris Murphy.
83. Kevin Everett 100.
So ton for Edwards and a potential 11 darter here. Double 10.
80. $119. Kevin Everett 20.
Good shot there from the artist, but doesn't get him down to a finish. So 6 starts here for Kevin Edwards if he needs them. Will he bust here? Wouldn't surprise me if he does. No straight for it. And it was just a moment of contemplation. Maybe now we'll wish he did
97.
go back to double 10 in this situation.
Kevin you require 10.
So this is stretch 2 clear. Well, there, as you can see from that overhead angle there, there's a peculiarity
score.
about that double 5. Couldn't
Kevin
find
require
it.
74.
And so Painter back for 74 to square this game back up at 2 apiece. It's going to have to be 13. He hasn't found the 13.
34. Kevin you require 10.
7 darts, hasn't it, so far for Kevin Edwards.
Game shot on the 4th leg.
Took him 10
Kevin
darts
Edwards.
to polish off the 10, but he's got there in the end. He's a leg away from winning the match,
5th leg,
but
it's Kevin Painter to throw first.
this is
Game
one of those situations where it looks like he's in a stronger position than he is. Kevin just needs the one break. Would have the advantage of throw here and the final leg should it go there.
78.
Scoring power has been very good, though, hasn't it, here from
Yeah.
Kevin Edwards? Consistent. Regularly finding that one treble visit.
100.
It's always going to keep you in legs, always going to keep you competitive.
Is he joining the Jamie Lewis club of luckless players in Group B this series?
Oh, for sure.
85.
Played well as Kevin Edwards.
No doubt we will see him again here at the Super Series. He's played well enough
60.
to definitely warrant another crack. Anybody new you'd like to see in Series 12?
I know there's going to be someone new in Series 12.
140. 100.
I think there's a lot of people that'd love to see Paul Lim here.
$100.
I tell you what, just in terms of names of players that we haven't seen too often, I'd love to, just from a personal perspective, I'd love to see Gigi back,
60.
Gordon Mathers. I haven't seen him
Kevin Edwards,
forever.
198.
But I'd love to see a few more players from Asia, the likes of Man Luk Kyung and players like that who, when we've seen them at the World Cup, we've seen them at the World Championship, have
77.
performed at a high level. Just the only problem is getting them over here because of the travel and visas and obviously expense for them as well. It's not a cheap trip for them to make, but I'd love to see some more Asian representation. Lawrence Alagan,
140.
Paolo
Kevin
Nabreda.
Edwards, 121.
We've seen Christian Perez play. 88. And if it doesn't go, Edwards is back for the match.
5.
Well, here we go
Kevin,
then.
You require.
This
41.
could settle everything in this Group B. Edwards fires his 41. Not just would it be a first win for the flatliner, but it'll send Steve West and Tommy Lisman through. 88.
25. Kevin
It's a
requires.
position he's not been in too often, despite playing so well, isn't it, Kevin Edwards? Having match starts, he's missed those. Just landing.
8.
Awkward angles, those ones for Kevin Painter.
require. 60.
Kevin Edwards, who's already had a couple of match starts, will get another handful.
It's double 4. Goes inside, and he had this issue,
Kevin,
didn't
you
he, when he was
require
3-1 up against
8.
Steve West in the opening game last night? It kind of set the tone
Age on
for
the
his
fifth
group.
leg. Kevin
Painter's
Painter.
still scrapping away. Back to 3-2. Edwards does have the insurance policy of the darts in this leg.
Kevin Edwards to throw first. Game on.
The problem started in the last leg, didn't it? 10 darts to get over the line and go 3-1 ahead. The issue's not here on the scoring. The scoring's good.
100.
But 3 from 18 on the doubles, and most of that's come in the last couple of legs. 5 match starts already for Kevin Edwards. And makes you wonder, doesn't it? Is the issue for Kevin Edwards not getting over the line and winning this
100.
game? Is he now playing the story in the continuum of all the other matches of which he's not thrown away but lost so far this campaign?
45. 100.
Anyone can stand there or sit there with a microphone in their hand and say that they've got a lot of fight about them and they're never going to give in, but Kevin
100.
Painter is really demonstrating that right now, isn't he? Showing a lot of character.
Well, it's very easy to lavish praise when people are playing well. But I think sometimes a person's
85.
character can be testified when they're in a position like this, when their chips are up against them, and it could be so easy in scenarios that Kevin's been in to say, do you know what, thank you very much,
86.
that's my lot, I've enjoyed what I've done. But the fact he wants to keep persevering, he wants to keep carrying on, I think is an absolute testament to his character and testament to the person that he is.
He's a very sporty guy, isn't he? He played a lot of football before, played darts his whole life. He'll need some form of competitive edge. If he couldn't play darts, I guarantee you Kevin Painter would be in a poker league or a dominoes league or something just to scratch that competitive itch.
140. Kevin, you require 170.
Well, there's to be some way to get a first win, but it looks like we're going to be heading all the way to a last leg decider, and it'll be Paint who has the darts in it.
55. Kevin, you require 76. $51. Kevin, you require 100.
So another chance to win it. 115 for Kevin Edwards. Gonna get another match dart. Is now the time? Now is the time at long last for Kevin Edwards to pick up a win, and he's been fully deserving of that win. He's played some really good stuff over the last couple of days, and at long last he can breathe that sigh of relief. He's a winner on the stage, and what it has done is confirm the places of Steve West and Tommy Lisman into tomorrow night's final, and it's Lisman and Harrison who'll go head to head next. International pairs will be back in August. The England team will be announced tomorrow night. Those are the teams that are competing when it comes to the end of August. One of those players is Andreas Harrison. He's in action tonight. He's qualified through Group B alongside Steve West and Tommy Lisman. This is what we've watched this evening so far. Before the break, Kevin Edwards' 4-2 win against Kevin Painter was good enough to qualify 2 players through. Andreas Harrison's been the player of the night so far. 2-ton-plus averages for him meant that he qualified through with relative ease. Steve West and Tommy Lisman will also be into tomorrow night's final. We can confirm that now by having a look at the table. We see Andreas Harrison at the top on 10. Steve West and Tommy Lisman both on 8. And the 2 Kevs are both on 2. And so to game 6 of our evening, a meeting between Andreas Harrison and Tommy Lisman. Andreas has been absolutely imperious this evening. As I say, those 2 averages in excess of a ton in his opening couple of games. And if he plays like that, then everybody will be running wild, which is another one of the programmes you can watch on Pluto TV with Bear Grylls. But here at the darts, it could be Tommy Lisman that could find himself running for cover, couldn't he, Matt?
I think he's going to play this game with an internal smile, knowing he's through to Saturday night. We know we've got the lineup complete.
140.
And I'm going to do it again, Mr. Deacon. This afternoon, we had a few experiences of original Super Series days where Henry Deacon was a pundit.
140.
Let's have another round of Henry Deacon the pundit. How do you envision the finals night going now we know the lineup?
121.
You do realise I get paid extra for giving opinions.
55.
Still waiting. You can't dodge it that easy.
Well, I think what will happen, there'll
70.
be 9 matches, and then whoever wins game 9 is going to win the week.
And who will be in game number 9?
The winner of semi-final number 1 and the winner of semi-final number 2.
Tommy Rock 170.
Both players on the fish, but Lish cannot find the fish. Can Harrison find the catch of the
60.
day?
Andreas, you require 170.
Got a bit of advice for you, Henry.
60.
Never go to
Tommy,
open
you
mic
require
night.
110.
110.
Okay, cool. Okay, fair enough. Anyway, 110 on the offing. It's gone bullseye.
Yes.
86. Andreas, you require 110.
Bonkers, isn't he? Loves the bullseye.
I'll tell you what, I'd love to have seen if Harrison found the treble there. He went for the bullseye
50.
just for a bit of
Tommy, you
darts
require
housery.
24.
I don't think Andreas Harrison will get involved with stuff like that.
$18. Andreas, you require 60.
Double top.
Game show on the first leg.
Reliable and
Andreas
dependable,
Harrison.
isn't he, Andreas Harrison?
Second leg, it's Andreas to throw first. Game on.
Well, he is tonight, isn't he? Both averages over 100 so far this evening. Looking
60.
exceptional, and went into tonight's 6-4 second favourite to win the group. They're looking like very tasty odds right now, aren't they?
91.
Well, it was worth a cheeky outside punt anyway. Remember, it's 18 plus, gamblerware.org if you are having a flutter on the Super Series this evening.
41.
Intrigued to see who goes off favourite tomorrow night, because you got Derek Coulson, whose recent record is as good as anybody.
100.
Steve West, whose record altogether is as good as anybody. And Andreas Harrison, one of the all-time greats to play here.
Okay.
100.
I'm going to have a little prediction on it. I reckon Harrison and Coulson will be joint favourites around the 2-1 mark. I'm going to go 15-8 the pair. Steve West will be
100.
about 9-2.
$100.
Lishman and Brown, 7s. Baker 10s.
Yeah, Baker will be the outside of the
58.
6. I think today probably set a couple of alarm bells are ringing. And Keegan, I hear, is going to have a bit of a
100.
advantage in terms of the
Tommy, you
the
require
crowd tomorrow night as well. I
152.
hear he's going to be bringing a couple over from the island. Well, more than a couple over from the island as Lisman looks at 152, double 16.
136. Andres, you require 100.
Well, looked at top stops, doesn't get top stops.
60. Tommy requires 16.
Well, Tommy Lisman couldn't find the 152s. If he did, he would have made Andreas Harrison look like a rock lobster, but double 8
Game shot on the
to
second
level up
leg.
at one apiece.
Tommy Lisman.
Doesn't look overly happy, though, does he?
Third leg, it's Tommy to
That's a
first.
fly.
Game on.
Oh, right, okay.
Here he comes around the hair. It's annoying when you get flags. There's nothing you can do. You can't like usher them away.
140.
And what they tend to do is they tend to just go around you in circles, catches your eye line.
140.
Either that or have you opened your wallet again, Mr. Deacon?
Right, I'm fed up of this. It was Durham last
57.
week, you this week. I'm not tight.
Remember I went to a restaurant with you and you tipped 1 pence?
Yes, I didn't want to tip anything.
So you tipped a penny. True story.
121.
0.01 on the custom tip.
I think the end of the stick is
54.
wrong here. All I'm saying, right, is I bought a big bag of sweets for the pair of us tonight. That is 180, number 180 of the week.
$140. Andres, you require 60.
Potential 11 darts in the offing here for Andreas. Double top. Now 2 10s.
50.
Now,
Tommy, you
just
require
remember what Tommy
110.
did last time, folks. Hits the treble, he goes for bull. Does he go bull second dart? No, goes treble 18, goes more conventional.
74. Andres, you require 10.
So 2 5s for Harrison.
Game
My
shot on the third
apologies.
leg. Andreas Harrison.
That's 2-1 with a 13 dart breaker throw.
Fourth leg, it's Andreas to throw first. Game on.
This is
100.
good from Andreas Harrison, but I think because of the blistering levels we've seen from him so far, it does feel like a little bit of a coming off the boil type performance, even though he's just a fraction under
41.
92. Maybe that's due to the high levels of which we've come to expect from Dirty Harry.
140. $100.
Does Tommy Lisman have a nickname? Because he doesn't brand it, does he?
The Flame.
Flame, okay.
180.
So we've got Dirty Harry versus the Flame. Owen Binks doesn't have one, does he? We'll just call him
100.
Binks
Andreas, you
Thinks.
require 81.
Well, he does have some nicknames, but he can't repeat it live on air.
41. $100. Andreas, you require 40. $20. Tommy, you require 160.
Another. Doesn't quite go.
100. Andreas, you require 20.
For 3-1, double 10.
Game shot on the
Goes.
fourth leg. Andreas
Andreas has a
Harrison.
2-leg lead.
Fifth leg, it's Tommy to throw first. Game on. 96. $140.
It's a bit of a marker tonight, isn't it, Andres Harrison? When you look at the performance which he's had, it's as if to say, and I'm sure he hasn't been tuning in and listening to the vibe, but it's as if the conversation started moving all about Derek Colson, and he went, hang on a minute, I'm a series winner here. I could go and do what no one other than Luke Littler has done, and that's pick up 2.
100.
And let's be honest, of the previous candidates that have won a series, he's the most realistic to do it again. Although we do have another former champion in Scott Taylor into Champions Week.
100.
The average just stealthily climbing here for Harrison, now up to 95. What a player.
A 95 without breaking sweat. And look what he has left.
Andrea Shipper,
The dirty shot.
He's hit it 3 times this week. He could find it for a 4th. Bullseye.
96.
The biggest shock was he missed.
Tommy, you require 118.
Doesn't have to persevere here. Doesn't have to. He likes the bullseye. Why did he not go 48?
100. Andrea, you require 25.
Anyway, this for the win. 88.
9.
Doesn't
Tommy,
go.
you require 18.
Well, Harrison back for 4-1 win.
Andrea, you require 16.
He has been superb tonight. This is actually his poorest performance, but it's still in excess of 90 as he brushes aside Tommy Lisman. 12 points for Andreas Harrison. He's almost won the group now. Those are stats from that game. Next is Paynton West. 10. And Scotland's are off to the perfect start.
Look at the head there for Jimmy Vansky as Burnett steps up and Richie Burnett does find double 10 and it is a 4-3 victory.
To complete a 4-1 success. Third time in the chart, and the Netherlands are into the semi-finals. History is in the making, because for the first time ever, there will be a paired 9-dart shootout. Well, this is the loudest I think I've ever heard the live now, because Steve West is in race again. Well, that might well be the biggest cheer we see tonight. And kicks off for maximum. And I suppose the one advantage of... Well, that is absolutely incredible. Scott Campbell in a 9-dart shootout has found 2 180s. So Scotland and Belgium are into the semi-finals. The Republic of Ireland head for home. The Netherlands are into the final. Much to the delight of this packed out Portland.
And he only needed one more. It is Wales that is through to the final.
And it's double Dutch delight. The Netherlands are the inaugural international pairs champions.
Only one winner. It's the Netherlands.
Yep, International Pairs 2 is back at the end of August and tickets are available by scanning that QR code. Give it a little scan on your screen there. It'll take you over to dartshop.tv. Right, to game 7 of the night. Kevin Payne and Steve West going head-to-head. Before the break was Andreas Harrison. Get the better of Tommy Lisman by 4 legs to 1. And that means that Andreas has won the group because of his superior leg difference. Now, even in the worst case scenario, he loses his last match and Steve West wins both his games by 4-0 scoreline, he'd still find himself a leg behind in terms of legs difference from Andreas. So there's that little permutation all sorted for you. Let's get the action underway as Painter and West lock horns.
Steve West was very quick yesterday, wasn't he, in his interview to lavish praise upon the performance of Kevin Painter yesterday. So he'll know the danger that Kevin Painter possesses here in this game, despite the fact things not been perfect for the artist. He's certainly had his moments tonight, hasn't he? The big standout one, that big 1-4-5 finish against Kevin Edwards.
99.
How do you think Kevin Painter will
45.
look back on this week when he has a bit of time to reflect?
Encouraging. Really encouraging.
100.
Still very popular on the exhibition circuit, still doing plenty of that, enjoying a bit of time in the sun as well.
140.
Every few weeks I see on his Twitter account he's sunning himself up somewhere in Spain, living the good life, is Kev.
Loves a bit of Tenerife, does Kev?
38. $95.
He's going to Ipswich Town on a Saturday. Tenerife for a week or two.
81.
Give him those things, he's a happy guy.
Steve, you require 100.
Well, he's certainly very happy or seeming very chipper about their chance of winning promotion this year as West looks at tops.
Game show.
In it goes. And that is a breaker throw, and that's a ton plus check out for Steve West.
Second leg, it's Steve to throw first. Game on. 100. 100.
I suppose this is a good opportunity for Steve West, who feels like he hasn't quite got his form right at the moment. The pressure and the chasing of the situation
60.
in regards to the points has already gone. So now he's got a couple of games. He's got this one against Kevin Painter. He's got another one against Kevin Edwards, where maybe he could just try a few things to try and find a bit of rhythm.
30.
Well, actually, I was just having a look because Steve West is a big Tottenham fan. And I thought, do you know what? I'll have a little scan through the results between Ipswich and Tottenham in the Premier League last season. And Ipswich actually got a win against Spurs at the Tottenham Stadium. 2-1 in November. Goals from Sammy Schmodix and Liam Delap, helping Ipswich en route to 2-1.
60.
A rare win for Ipswich in the Premier League last season. I would have a look at Ipswich results against Colchester United, Owen Binks' team, but I don't really need to.
22.
As a matter of fact, Ipswich Town's women's team are using Colchester United's ground next season to play their home matches.
46. $117. 57. Steve, you require 142.
142 for West. Can I find the second treble 17 that would have given him a look at tops?
72. $100. Steve, you require
So
70.
this for 2-0 lead for Steve. Double 10.
50.
Doesn't go, and
Kevin, you
Painter
require
took out a
108.
145 out of the blue in his previous match. Can he find a 108 to level this game up at one apiece?
56. Steve, you require 20.
So double 10.
Game shot on the second leg. Steve West.
2-0 Steve West.
Third leg, it's Kevin to throw first. Game on.
As a matter of fact, I was just having a look at your team's results against Ipswich.
50.
Didn't even beat them last season. 2-2 draw at Portman Road. 1-1 draw at Villa Park. Ipswich even had a man sent off and you couldn't even get a point against. In fact, you needed Ollie
60.
Watkins to get yourself out of a bit of a bother. 25 shots you had against them.
$80.
Although I do have the feeling that you might get the opportunity to put it right the season after next, because I really do like Ipswich to
95.
chances of getting straight back up to the Premier League. Don't know about the other two spots, mind. Try to see what Frank Lampard does with a full season at Coventry.
29.
Speaking of Premier League, let's go for the Darts Premier League for a second before
47.
major season kicks off and we start having all the big events. Name me a player you think could make a debut next year in the Premier League.
Easiest question you can ask all night. Joshua Wack.
Agreed.
140.
I think that the Australia-New Zealand leg is an absolute audition for him. And we've seen it in the past. I mean, I know Luke Humphries went on to then win the World Championship, but even if he didn't win the Worlds and he didn't go on that spree at the end of 2023, the fact they were sending him to
89.
New York, the fact they were sending him to Australia was kind of a breeding ground to send him in anyway. We've seen it from other players in the past.
100.
Dimitri van der Berg had a couple of appearances, didn't he, in the World Series events before then getting his shot at the Premier League. So yeah, I think that's a test to see how he can deal. Because obviously when you're playing in things like the World Series, you've got to deal with press, you've got to deal with media days, you've got to deal with all the other things that come with what eventually will be playing in the Premier League, what's all about. So if he can deal with that okay, then you get the sense that
62. Steve, you require
providing his end of the
150.
season strong, he's got a very good chance of getting into the 8. Well, Steve's staying up on the 150. Change of tack. Almost a change of fortune.
35. Kevin, you require 40.
Double 10.
Game shot on the third
He
leg.
gets there in the end.
Kevin
And back we
Painter.
go to 2-1.
Fourth leg, it's Steve to throw first. Game on.
Once again, the double's proving to be the strong point for Kevin Painter.
57.
It's always good to have something in your game that's really working for you, something that you can rely on. And he'll be aware of this, Kevin. He'll be aware that when he gets down, he's getting out
30.
quite regularly. It's one of those players that breaks things down a little bit. I've got a scoring game, I've got a finishing game. He'll know one part of it is extremely strong.
100.
That much so that he only needed to find a little bit on his scoring, and he probably would have qualified through this group.
$60. $60. 45. $100. 76. $100.
Well, Resty leads himself on 84 to open up a 3-1 lead in this game.
$140.
It does leave himself on a finish with that
Steve
top
require
40,
84.
but it's full advantage to Steve in this leg. Wonders the proximity of dart number 1.
60.
Just
Kevin,
not
you have
really found
150.
his range so far tonight.
Done the most important thing though, hasn't he, Westy? He's got himself through to Saturday night. Lishman and Harrison also promoted through this group. But games still to go. 3 more games still to go.
98.
One more for Steve West. That's against
Steve,
Kevin
number
Edwards, who's
124.
got 2. Kevin Edwards, in fact, coming up next against Tommy Lishman. But there may be a bit of a wait before that game.
No score.
Steve is
Kevin, you
making a
require
bit of a mess
52.
of these, and Kevin Painter has been gobbling up these sort of opportunities.
Well, a disconsolate shake of the head at the back of the stage from Steve West because he knows
Yeah,
he should
he's on
be
the
well
fourth
clear.
leg.
Should
Kevin
possibly
Painter.
be off the stage. But Kevin Painter levels up at 2-2.
It's
It's a
Kevin to
real
throw
head scratcher
first. Game
indeed,
on.
Steve. But for Kev, if he wins this one, it means he's guaranteed to win a night. To have one more game against Andreas Harrison to Finish off his
45.
programme of matches. And to finish off another Super Series campaign, the first in a little while for him. Been great to see Kevin back, and great to see Kevin back in good form.
26.
Both on the stage and off the stage as well. It's been great to spend some time having a little bit of a chat with Kev and
90.
just seeing him with that smile on the face.
And a bit of belief back in the game as well.
60.
I think that's what Steve West is a little bit void of right now. A little bit of belief. Possibly would feel he should be off with a 4-0 victory, but didn't take advantage when Kevin Painter was down, and now he's on the ascendancy.
$100. $97.
All of a sudden, Painter could find himself 3-2 up in a game that Steve West should have won by now.
105. Kevin Ibrock 129.
Well, one thing we know about Kevin Painter is he's not making many mistakes when he gets to this point, the back end of legs. He stuck out a finish similar to this earlier, the 145.
Steve doing the right thing there, just stepping back to the drinks table and just letting Kev have his own time and space. Haven't seen this
170.
type of flare up much. Shaking the head on the
60.
back of the stage. I think partly as well because things were
Yeah,
going
you
so
require
smoothly for him in that particular
12.
visit.
Game show on the fifth.
But you know what? Full credence,
Kevin
full
Painter.
credit to Kevin Painter there, because that was probably the first time we saw a real struggle from him so
Sick
far
leg
this
Steve
week.
to
But he's
go first.
dusted himself down.
Game
He's
on.
won the leg, and he's just having a little bit of a chat to himself, a little bit of a pep talk at the back of the stage, just to try and rein things back in
60.
a little bit.
One thing for sure, Kevin's been competitive this evening, just like he was last night.
140.
And he's getting better as this game goes on. Ironically, he's getting better in terms of the performance as the issues are flaring up a
100.
little bit.
I suppose I'm intrigued to see how Kevin's going to get on when we see him. I hope we see him again in the next series. Obviously, I don't know the lineups and things like that right now, but
25.
it'd be intriguing to see if we see him, say, in 3 months' time, how things are developed from the standpoint now to the standpoint then. And for him, it's all about getting himself
140.
ready for the Circus Tavern in February. That is his end goal, the World Seniors Championship in 2026.
$80. $83.
Always good to have those goals in mind, isn't it?
125.
Have something on the horizon to
Steve
look
Ibrock
forward to
180.
build to.
Tops.
70.
That would have been for
Kevin
a
Ibrock
second Ton Plus checkout
131.
of this match. And so Painter, to get his first win of the evening, looking at 131. And so this to send us all the way to the last leg decider.
41. Steve, you require 40.
Well, it didn't work for him on 12s. He's
Giving
gone
you
to his
required
favourite double
90.
there of tops. It's still not working for Steve West, and that's why he's cutting a very frustrated figure. But the big story right now, Kevin Painter 90 points away from his first victory of the evening and getting another 2 points on the table. He got a win yesterday, a victory over Kevin Edwards.
$60.
If he's going to get a
Steve
victory here, he
Ibaguana,
may have to wait
35.
another leg. 2 match darts for Kevin Painter have come and gone. Steve West a chance to save his skin.
5 left.
Well, that's what Kevin Painter wanted a moment ago.
Exhibition darts. And you just knew
Game
the double
on the
one was going to
sixth
go.
flag.
He gives it
Steve
a bigger
West.
because that was the most unintentional 35 and weirdest 35 finish you'll ever see.
I'm calling it
Seventh and
now.
final
You will
leg, it's
never
Kevin
see
to throw
a
first.
35 taken like that again
Game on.
for the rest of the year.
It's one of them that even if you tried it in an exhibition, it doesn't come off.
$32.
But this is where the competitor in Steve West will sense an opportunity on the painted arts here. Just the one treble's all he requires to give himself a little bit of comfort,
83.
to give himself a bit of hope. And the way Steve's been finishing, just 3 from 13, he may need to outscore Kevin quite significant here to get some opportunities.
125. $45. $24. $97. $45.
Advantage to West once again.
94.
Those pickoffs have just been golden, haven't they, for Steve West in the last couple of visits there. What's give him a little bit of a cushion now on the scoreboard, forcing Kevin to find a big score. Let's look at the bullseye here.
81.
Maybe not full clarity of thought.
Well, you could see as soon as he went to retrieve the darts from the board, he knew exactly the error of his ways.
131.
And it's opened up the door for Steve West to, with those couple of trebles, has left himself on 51 to complete a 4-3 victory.
125.
So Kevin,
requiring
he'll have one more battle to come against Andreas Harrison, but Steve West looking at double top.
31.
So Painter's going to get a chance to win this game.
Kevin, he requires 69.
May well only be one dart, but it's a chance nonetheless to get himself on the board. 54 remaining, tops remaining. And one dart was all Kevin Painter needed to win that match.
Kevin Painter.
And he is going to get that win on Friday night for Steve West. Well, the gains that he made on Thursday have been the key to his Friday, because so far he's been unable to add to his 8 points that he picked up on the opening night's worth of playing Group B. Painter 4, West 3, Edwards Lisman next. Welcome back to Pluto TV and to the Modus Super Series, where we're into Game 8 of the night. And it is a meeting between Kevin Edwards and Tommy Lisman. So, Kevin has played some decent darts throughout the course of this Group B. He's been mightily unlucky in terms of some of the results that he's picked up. As for Tommy Lisman, well, the job was completed earlier on this evening in terms of his qualification through to tomorrow night's final. Well, now we've crossed the midnight gap. It's now tonight's final here at the Live Lounge in Portsmouth. And Tommy Lisman providing us with some of his trick shots before we get underway.
Kevin to throw first. Game on.
Have you got any trick shots that you provide at your exhibitions, Matt?
Not really, no. No, I'm not really much of a trick shotter, just different
96.
things, doubles, you know, the usuals, bit of paper over the board, those sort of things.
Available for £5 plus
42.
VAT if you're interested in booking prime time for an exhibition.
$100. $96.
Well, Kevin's got 2 more games. Tommy Lisman's going to leave us following the end of this one. What do you think Tommy will
138.
make of the way things have gone for him in Group B?
He'll be happy. Of course he will. He's got through. That's all he wants to do. He wants to be here on Saturday night. It's a
140.
long drive down,
Giving
isn't it, from Hull to get down to here
167.
in Portsmouth. So, got to make it pay, and he's made it pay. He's got the chance now for the big prize, and Kevin Edwards got a chance for a big finish.
142.
Finish we've already seen this evening. It was actually done by Tommy Lisman himself.
105. Kevin requiring 25.
I suppose he could finish with 6 points to his name in the group, which would mean he would have been only a couple off of a qualifying spot. That relies on a win here against Tommy Lisman and
9.
a victory against Steve
Tommy, you
West.
require
But
180.
that's been the problem, hasn't it? The scoring's been okay. It's been okay all week long, but he's missed darts at a double, and his opponents have tended to have punished.
Game shot.
His week, Kevin
Tommy
Edwards,
Lisman.
have been typified in the last 6 darts.
Second leg is Tommy to throw first.
Opportunities
Game.
not taken, and then his opponents coming in and punishing with something good. Now, do you remember what happened to Tommy Lisman against Kevin Painter? Slow out the traps at a ton plus finish, then suddenly just roared into life. Is he going to do something similar here?
100. $137.
It's quality, isn't it? Showing us gears, showing us levels now is Tommy Lisman. And when you talk about him taking the next step and how far he can go and what that
43.
ceiling is for him, when you see things like this, when you see moments, when you see him pushing through like this, it just makes you think, maybe that ceiling's a little higher than we originally thought.
180.
And he decided to go for a max and even self on double 2 with his opponent 350 plus points behind him.
We've had 2 9-darters.
140. Tommy require 4.
Don't see many 10-darters on double 2, and you're not going to see one there. However,
No score.
things could suddenly get a little bit interesting if Kevin Edwards could pile in a couple of trebles. Interesting. Very interesting.
180.
And in the words
Tommy
of Barry
require
Davis,
4.
just look at his face.
Two.
Just look at his face.
Kevin, you require 38. $19. Tommy, you require 2.
We was on for a 10-darter, and we're still here after 16.
Game shot on the second leg. Tommy.
But it gets there in the end. All's well that ends well.
Third leg, it's Kevin to throw first. Game on. 60. 60. 123. 125.
It's not for the first time this week. I've had a little look up to the fruit machine that I have here in the commentary box. And Kevin Edwards
55.
is averaging 96. Fruit machine meaning the stat screen that
76.
we have. It illustrates the averages, illustrates the breakdown of the scoring, so we can have a look at every single, literally every single dart that a player throws. It
57.
comes up and it's illustrative on this brilliant bit of kit that has been created for us here in the commentary gantry. Literally no stone has been left
95.
unturned. And all this gets then fed into a data system, which we then are able to bring you the best possible stats and the best
135.
possible
Tommy, have
breakdowns of the
145.
patterns of play throughout the course of a day. Triple 19. Well, decided to go triple 15 for tops. And then
105.
it's a double
Giving everyone
15 to
71.
leave itself tops.
Bit of a maverick.
51. Tommy, you require 40.
In a bit, in a bit of a playful mood.
Game shown the third leg. Tommy Lisman.
And opens up a 3-0 lead.
Fourth leg, it's Tommy to throw first. Game on. 49. 125.
Well, this is our side-on angle, where we can have a little look at
63.
the players. So it's a little bit more difficult with Tommy as a left-hander from the side-on angle from the right-hand side of the ball. But in terms of the technique of Kevin Edwards, there's not really much to fault, really, is there?
85.
No, you tend to find as well when people get to sort of the latter ends of their career, like Kevin is now in his aging days, shall we say,
59.
they don't tend to tinker too much. They sort of accept how things are. You know, there is obviously always wiggle room within techniques and actions and setups, equipments.
100.
But you tend to find that's more people starting out, the younger players sort of getting into
100.
sort of new levels and looking for that next step. Get the feeling that Kevin Edwards has found levels where he's quite happy, enjoying and competing and playing his darts.
83.
Though he's played well this week, I'm not 100% sure he'd be classed as enjoying it.
140. Kevin, you require 100.
Well, this to get a leg on the board. Triple 17 will be the locality of dart 2. Would have
56.
given him a look at double 18.
Tommy, you
Dart.
require
Well, he loves
90.
the bullseye here, Tommy. And there's a possibility that he could end this game with the ball, although that dart was sat plumb for a dart at the 12 for double 5. Doesn't find the
65.
ball. And
Kevin,
so
you require
Edwards
52.
to get a leg on the board, looking at 52. Double top it is.
12. Tommy, you require 25.
Double
Game
12
shot
for
and
a
the
4-0 win
Tommy Lisman.
for Tommy Lisman. He ends his group campaign with a win under his belt, and he's in good stead to possibly find that first weekly win when it comes to Saturday night. He beats Kevin Edwards by 4 legs to 0. Are you ready to lift that trophy, Darius?
Yes.
Let's do it then.
Ladies and gentlemen, your Modus Super Series 9 champion is Lucky D, Darius Labanowski!
Well, what a wonderful night of darts we have seen, and we are ready. Our champion is ready, and it's trophy time. So receive the trophy. £25,000. The new Modus Super Series champion, the Terminator, Marvin Van Velzen. And one more time, the 8th Modus Super Series champion, the Terminator, Marvin Van Velzen. And the new Modus Super Series champion is Andreas Dirty Harrison. And one more time, the 7th Modus Super Series champion. Give it up for Andreas Dirty Harrison.
The moment we've all been waiting for. Would you please show your appreciation for your Series 6 Modus Super Series champion, Scott Taylor?
One more time, your new Modus Super Series champion. He is Chucky. He is Jim McEwen.
Ladies and gentlemen, your Modus Super Series champion, retaining his title, the Nuke, Luke Littler!
Welcome back to the Modus Super Series. Tommy Lisman joins me here in the studio following a Group B campaign which has seen him through to yet another Saturday night here. Tommy, many, many congratulations. It felt like once you got going, you really did get going in that group.
Yeah, when I've played well, I've played well. When I've not played well, I've not been great. But the aim was Saturday. I've not played a lot, I've just been saying to you. I've really not had a lot. Since the last time I was here, I've had 2 or 3 big tournaments, a couple of local stuff. Apart from that, I've not played much at all. So it was really just come here and make Saturday just not match sharp. But then when it's been good, it's been very good. It's like I've not been away. But then when it's been bad, I've struggled.
So has part of this week been about almost kind of playing yourself into form a little bit?
Yeah, it really is. It was just, I've got 2 days, play well, get enough points, make Saturday. Come Saturday, 6 good dart players, anybody can win Saturday. It doesn't matter who's won Group A, who's won Group C. Anybody can win a Saturday night. And I've played well, I know I've played well. There's been a couple of scrappy games, but ultimately, and I've played well. I know I've played well. Even the games I've lost, Andreas has beat me twice. I've not played bad. He's just played better.
In terms of, excuse me, excuse me, my throat's gone completely dry. Excuse me. This is so going in the blooper, isn't it? In terms of where you're at, because me and Matt were mentioning kind of in commentary, obviously you've had a good end of last year, good starts of this year. My voice is going to go in a second. Where were you at with the game at the minute?
Once I got a management company, it was all about going to school. I just wanted to play well. I wanted to be back in a professional environment, strong markers, quality opponents. And my year's just gone better than I ever expected it was going to go. I've rocked up and I've shown I can play. I've come down here. I played well last time. It's always nice to get an invite back. Getting an invite back proves you're doing something right and they're looking at you and thinking, oh, we want him here. And I've come down and I've played well again. I'm loving it at the minute. Everything in my life is quite good at the minute.
So, into another Saturday night. You've had a couple of brushes with it before. Now you're through to it for another time. It's now the time to kind of take that next step?
Yeah, I believe so. I've got better every time I've come. So I've gone from not making a Saturday to making a Saturday to losing in the groups to making the semi-finals. Everything's progression. I need to win a week because Reece is running away with it at the minute. He keeps winning weeks. So I need to catch him up, but yeah, I'm ready for it. I was ready for it last time and I let it slip. I'd been on such good form and didn't play great. This time, it'll be a different me. I'll play great.
And we will see you tomorrow night. Tommy, many, many congratulations.
Thank you.
A couple more games to go. And we're going to now join Matthew Edgar in the commentary box.
Ladies and gentlemen, that was Tommy Lisman. An interview there with a big smile across his face. He's happy, and rightly so. A 4-0 victory over Kevin Edwards, confirming his place in Saturday night once again. Currently second in the table. Steve West still has a game to go. That'll be our last game when he takes on Kevin Edwards. But Tommy Lisman back again in a Saturday night once again, looking to chase down Reece Robinson, the fellow Hull boy who's picked up many titles here at the Super Series. But that is a story for tomorrow night. Tonight, our focus is centre stage when we talk about players that have been successful here at the Super Series, players that have won multiple titles. This man is top of that shortlist.
83.
Andreas Harrison has been exceptional tonight. He is the group winner. And it gives us one more opportunity to catch Andreas Harrison and rule our eye over him one more time as he takes on a very experienced, a very gutsy performer in Kevin Painter, who has just picked up his second victory of the campaign, a 4-3 victory over Steve West.
140.
He beat Kevin Edwards yesterday, so I think before we get into discussing Andreas Harrison, Tommy Lisman and tomorrow, I think we've got to take a moment to chuck some credit on the name of Kevin Painter, who's been mightily competitive during his time here at the Super Series.
Well, I think us and probably Kevin himself didn't quite know what was going to happen over the course of these 2 days. But I think it's fair to say he's acquitted himself well. We've seen some good performances from him. And I actually think one of the better takeaways from Kevin, there's actually going to be moments where he's going to feel a little bit frustrated, which tells you that the game is beginning to move into a good place. Anyway, 138 for Andreas, who's been head and shoulders.
98.
Head and shouldered in this group.
Shampoo darts, you'd have been
40. Game shown the first
13 darts,
leg.
Andreas, one up.
Andreas Harrison. Second leg, it's Kevin to throw first. Game on.
And Andreas has turned up tonight, hasn't he? And we kind of said yesterday that it felt uncharacteristically patchy from him, but doing what a good player does. And when it gets to the business end, the championship rounds, he just begins to do his business.
He sandwiched a week, really, because Monday he was good. Day one, hit the ground running in Group A.
100.
He's ending the group campaign on Friday with good. So the bread of the week is good. And Andreas Harrison's one of those people, really, that when they come to the Super Series, you don't really judge them on anything other than do they win it or do they not. It's not like, oh, I reached a semi-final, that's good.
95.
These are qualifying weeks for Andreas. But it's nothing more than a qualification week for him. He's expected now to get through to a Champions Week whenever he plays in one of these weeks. That's how highly we've set the goals for him. Whether he feels that way, that's only down to him. Only he can tell us
119.
that. This is almost like the first step towards another Champions Week title.
If Andreas Harrison wins this week,
136.
and you've got Andreas Harrison and Scott Taylor in there, do we have our second ever double champion when Champions Week comes around?
Well, we said this in Series 9, though, didn't we, when both players made it through to the same Champions Week.
90.
And in the end, it'd be Darius Labanauskas that would wipe away all
170.
sorts of thoughts of that. It's not like Darius Labanauskas to ruin somebody's dreams, would it?
94. Kevin Ibrahim, 95.
Darius is very much in that conversation of best player out of tour card right now.
Super Series champion, top of the Challenge Tour, absolutely.
Finds a treble with dart 2.
$63.
Oh, so nearly found the
Andreas requires
double
76.
16. And so Andreas 76 to double his lead to 2-0. It's going to be double top.
36. Kevin Ibrahim, 32.
Double 8. Now this is going to be slightly obscured.
24.
He would not have seen hardly any of that.
Andreas require 40.
And so Harrison for 2-0 looks at tops.
$30. Kevin require 8. Game shot on the second leg. Kevin Painter.
Well, Painter finds double 4, and we are back level at 1 apiece.
So like it's Andreas to throw first. Game on.
A nice little ironic celebration. He's having a little bit of fun at least, is our Kev.
Well, it's one thing that's followed
43.
Kevin Painter around, isn't it, throughout his careers? Some celebrations. Has been known to, as you may say, give it a little bit large.
55.
Wasn't just on the stage as well. We used to, obviously, when we was both on the tour, have regular
121.
practice sessions every single week, and you'd even have it down the local. He has been known to have been across the back of the sofa, on the table, in celebrations.
45.
My favourite one is that there used to be a game called Skittles, where you throw something that's called a cheese, which is a block of wood,
123.
and you throw it at 10 pins, and it's on like a raised platform. Traditionally played sort of in the Northamptonshire kind of area. And there was one of them set up, and I took out a good shot,
27.
and I got one of the cheeses and I threw it at the Skittles, knocked a couple of them down. Next leg, Kevin takes out a bigger one, and he runs and dives. Doesn't get one of those
100.
cheeses. Dives into it and knocks them all down. He's laid down in it. Legs are up in the air. Great moment. I wish I could get the CCT footage for that.
58. Andreas require 114.
Well, it's Harrison that's been skittling apart the opponents tonight.
40. 140.
I want to
Andreas
talk a little bit more
requires
about
74.
Andreas in the next leg. Might not have to wait long. Not long
Games
at
on
all.
the third
2-1.
leg. Andreas Harrison.
When you think about Andreas,
Fourth leg, it's Kevin to throw first.
now, yeah, we
Game.
saw him at the Indigo of the BDO World Championship in 2020. But when he came here for the first time, kind of came with a little reputation. And all of a sudden, because of his performances over the last few years,
123.
has kind of, based on his own rep, built himself up to be a big name. He's become somebody who's become one of our big superstars based on his ability to perform it. A little bit like a Jimmy
140.
Van Schie. And one of the things that I think has developed over the last few years of the Super Series is new stars being bred through this system as opposed to people with previous big name status
43.
coming into the competition.
Yeah, absolutely. It's finding its own stars. It's finding its own makings. Maybe we're going to get that as well with Jensen Walker.
100.
And it's only going to happen more and more as well the
96.
longer things go.
$140.
Look what Andreas has left. The trademark. 121 checkout.
Andreas, you require 121.
Number 17 does not get, and so Painter back for 156.
49. Kevin, you require 156.
156 for Kev. Can't be done now, and so Andreas back for 72 for the break and a 3-1 lead.
140.
Kevin's left himself very handy
Andreas,
though.
you
Big
require
find there.
72.
Andreas Harrison should be fair warned. Kevin Painter's finishing's been good. Might just be a dart at the ball due to the wayward.
47. Kevin, you require 16.
He's made very little error with 3 darts in hand on the outer ring.
For Desmond, for parity again, double 2.
12.
Does not go, and so Everton has an opportunity to get the break
Andreas,
and open up a
25.
3-1 lead. Double 8.
Game
3-1
on the fourth
Harrison.
leg. Andreas Harrison.
And the thing is, I'm watching this game here with Andreas Harrison,
Fifth leg,
and
it's
I'm
Andreas
watching,
to
I'm
throw
thinking,
first. Game.
he's just come off the boil a little bit in this one. You look at the average, he's averaging 92. He's now getting to that point where you watch... and
100.
you know, like sometimes you watch Luke Littler nowadays and Luke Humphries and you go, well, they're not really on the boils today. And you look at the average and average 100. Andreas Harrison's starting to get to that
50.
Super Series version.
Well, he is one of the biggest beasts in the Super Series pond.
140.
He's one of the great champions, the only player to have won the Super Series Triple Crown.
$60.
And I just wonder whether that Nordic area, Sweden, Denmark, whether... I know they have a World Series event in Copenhagen, but maybe as the years develop, possibly
27.
a Euro Tour or something of those sorts of varieties may head back to them kind of shores. Because the talent's certainly there. The interest is... I mean, there's exhibition events in Gothenburg and other parts of Switzerland where there's about 4,000 people there. The other week there was an exhibition
97.
in Finland that had 4,000 people there. So it's certainly an area of interest. And they're certainly providing the talent on the Nordic and Baltic Tour.
96.
Harrison looking around his night off with a ton plus finish, looking for 1-3-8-2.
95. Andreas
Complete a
require
4-1 victory.
138. $86.
Well, return for 52 for Kevin. It's been great to see him back here at the Super Series, and we hope to see him again in the not too distant future.
133.
But tonight has
Andreas
well
require
and
52.
truly belonged to Andreas Harrison. He has been the player of the night.
44. Kevin Ibaquan, 66.
Well, he was signing off there on Kevin Pater's time at the Super Series. It may be about to extend. 41 gives him choices. Opts for double 16. Andreas Harrison has missed one opportunity already. He rarely misses two.
$34.
If that trend continues, that would be the last
Require.
start that Kevin Painter gets to throw at the Super
8.
Series on this trip.
2 4s. For Andreas Harrison, the trip's going to continue irrespective of what happens. And that double 4 squeezes in and seals a 4-1 success against Kevin Painter. Great to see the artist back here over the last couple of days. For Andreas Harrison, he looks in tip-top form to win yet another weekly title. Next up, Steve West takes on Kevin Edwards. It's our final game of the night.
$54. Charlie McGuire, 164. $44. $32. Charlie required 120.
Well, 120. He's got a fair, at least 2 handfuls at this. Just needs to stay
60.
there. That's a good shot. Halves his score. Leaves himself on a 2-darter.
$26. Charlie
Time on his
required
side
60.
to become back-to-back singles champion.
$40.
Definitely a couple of nerves in those last 2 darts. But he'll be coming back.
The moment he's been in before this situation. Standing at the back of the
81.
stage,
Charlie
approaching the
required
Yoki with a
20.
chance to win the title.
He did this to win the first title, if you remember.
11.
I think he's gone.
Georgia
I think
required
he's gone to
118.
bust it, maybe. The first title he won, he wanted 20. He went 6-7-7 to win it. He had a chance to replicate it again.
Yeah, I get the feeling that was for a bust, and
39.
on that situation there, George
require
SCAIFE wasn't even
9.
able to take it out going to the 18s on that switch.
Yeah, I think he just panicked a bit, but he's done well to get that big one.
Sometimes can be the hardest part.
Georgia requires
This is it.
79.
It's got to be 19s. It's got to be 19s for this shot. Big 20 and a double. He's got the first one. He's going to get a match dart here.
$59. Charlie
Threw the entire
required
body into that
8.
one. Just didn't want to let go of the dart.
No score.
He's given George a chance.
Georgia require 20.
I think George has been quite good on double 10 today.
So many opportunities for Charlie Murphy.
Go!
Couldn't get the job
Yes!
done.
Got out the match! And the Red Dragon
George
Modus
SCAIFE.
Super Series Influencers Champion, George SCAIFE! And the Modus Super Series champion!
17, the key Pets bullseye for the win. Absolutely incredible by Andreas Harrison. We're not going to need that.
Bosh.
High pace is through.
Game, shot, and the match.
Final game of the night here at the Super Series is a meeting between Steve West and Kevin Edwards. Steve will be looking to get a win to end his night and will probably want to forget this evening, if the truth be told, as he looks forward to another Saturday night appearance here at the Super Series. As for Kevin Edwards, there, well, as far as his week is concerned, he's played some decent stuff about picking points up. Only the
First
one
leg,
win
it's Steve to throw first.
so far
Game on.
from his group campaign. What are we going to see from this final game, Matt?
I think it's good to see two players play the game with a smile on the face and enjoy the conclusion of what has been an exceptional Group B. Lots of stories, twists and
140.
turns. Been a very enjoyable watch this evening. And now the final thing to decide is who's going to pick up the
60.
crown. That will be concluded tomorrow evening, starting at 7:30.
100.
Yeah, yourself and Scott Mitchell will be here. To
58.
see who will make it through to Champions Week in week 9 of Series 11.
100.
Is it going to be one of the all-time campaigners in West or Harrison? Or is somebody different going to emerge from the pack? Keegan Brown played some decent
81.
stuff in Group
Kevin,
C
you've got
earlier on this
161.
afternoon. He'll be hoping to kick on. Kevin Edwards looking to leave with a bit of a statement.
78. Steve, you've got 167. $59. Kevin, you've got 83.
So 83 for Kev. Double 16, now double 8.
67. Steve, you've got 108.
Oh, this is different. Ah, I was looking at
88.
8-ball there for Steve.
Kevin, you require 16.
Thought he was in cheeky Westy mode.
Game shot on the first leg. Kevin Edwards.
Well, Edwards finds a double 4 and he will get the break.
Second leg, it's Kevin to throw first. Game on.
A throw in this opening leg.
Probably feel like a little bit of justice, wouldn't it, for Kevin Edwards if he was to leave with a parting win.
140.
A win for Edwards as well. Would move him into 4th
140.
place, relegating Kevin Painter to the bottom of the table.
$41. $100. $46. $140.
Well, 140 leads West on the Harrison after just 9 darts in this second leg.
83. Steve, you've got 121.
It's double 7.
107.
He was looking at treble 7 for the bull, wasn't he?
$133. Steve, you've got 114.
For 1-1. Moves on the inside,
score.
and so
Number
Edwards
158.
returns for 2-0. Double top.
Gauge
2-zip.
on the second leg. Kevin Edwards. Third leg, it's Steve to throw first. Game on. $180.
It's amazing how sometimes it can fall so effortlessly for Steve West.
And that'll be why he gets frustrated.
100.
Because you just don't quite understand why.
$180.
I'm going to say it now. Steve West hits this 1-4-1. There's no way he misses a dart in this combination.
95. Steve, you require 141.
I'm going to get out of here, and I'm
125.
going to run as quickly as I can. Because I know I'm going to get it in the ear now after that. However, on for another 10 darter this week.
80. Steve, you require
We've had
60.
2 already. Not going to be 3 as of yet.
Game show on the third leg.
That's a
Steve
good leg
West.
though, that for Steve West. 12 darter, solid.
Fourth leg, it's Kevin to throw
Back-to-back
first.
180s.
Game on.
He's just looking for a little bit of encouragement, isn't he? A little bit of feeling.
$140. $140. $140.
Well, Kevin Edwards is stepping it up again. He's determined not to finish bottom of this table.
140.
But as per his week, every single time he tries to do something good, his opponent will just follow up in kind.
100. $85. Kevin, you've got 121.
Well, Kevin Edwards is averaging 95.
97.
He's seeing his
Steve,
opponent average just under
136.
102. But he's not going to see his opponent take out a 136, so we'll return for double
96.
12
Kevin, you've required 24.
to go 3-1 up. And
Game
3-1
show
up
on
he
the
goes,
fourth leg,
13
Kevin
darter.
Edwards. Fifth leg, it's Steve to throw first. Game on.
Steve did make sure that he lavished a lot of praise, didn't he, on Kevin Edwards yesterday, saying he could quite easily have been top of
44.
the table. He knew the danger of which Kevin Edwards possessed, and the way in which he's been playing. He's now on the receiving end of Kevin Edwards putting it all together. He's just looking up and seeing what is an exceptional performance here. The average moves to a fraction of a ton.
140.
I tell you what, could you imagine? Okay, don't imagine anything.
59. $135. $84. $100. $100. Steve, you require 82.
To extend the game. Doubled up.
Game shot on the fifth
14
leg.
darter.
Steve West.
Riposte for Steve West. 3-2 Edwards with the darts
Steve
to win it
against
here.
Kevin to throw first. Game on. $80.
Well, that's a leg-by-leg play in this game.
100.
The last few legs really have stepped up in quality. 12 darter Steve West, back-to-back 5-visit legs thereafter.
100.
And those numbers mighty, mighty fine.
83. $100. $83. $60. $97. Kevin, you're back 161.
For a fanfare ending to his Group B campaign.
$87. Steve, you're back 138.
To take us all the way. Not to be, and so
114. Kevin
Edwards is back for 74 to win this game by a 4-2 scoreline. Double 16. There it goes. And for Kevin Edwards, the first few games did not go to plan, but he's finished off a couple of wins, and he will not be the bottom marker in this Group B. He can be really proud of the efforts that he's put in over the last couple of days, but he knows that the damage was done yesterday. For Steve West, the damage in a good sense was done yesterday. He stayed his best performance the last, actually, 101.44. But the 4 wins yesterday, that was enough to send him through. Are you ready to lift that trophy, Darius?
Yes. Let's do it then. Ladies and gentlemen, your Modus Super Series 9 champion is Lucky D, Darius Lewandowski!
Well, what a wonderful night of darts we have seen, and we are ready. Our champion is ready, and it's trophy time. So receive the trophy. £25,000. The new Modus Super Series champion, the Terminator, Marvin Van Velzen. And one more time, the 8th Modus Super Series champion, the Terminator, Marvin Van Velzen. And the new Modus Super Series champion is Andreas Dirty Harrison. And one more time, the 7th Modus Super Series champion. Give it up for Andreas Dirty Harrison.
The moment we've all been waiting for. Would you please show your appreciation for your Series 6 Modus Super Series champion, Scott Taylor?
One more time, your new Modus Super Series champion. He is Chucky. He is Jim McEwen.
Ladies and gentlemen, your Modus Super Series champion, retaining his title, the Luke Lidlow!
Welcome back to the Modus Super Series, where the night's action has come to a close. Matthew Edgar is alongside me here in the studio. And in terms of tonight's action, this is exactly what we've seen. These are the results from the second half of the evening. Before the break, Kevin Edwards got the better of Steve West by 4 legs to 2. Andreas Harrison, well, he's been the player of the night, hasn't he? A 4-1 victory against Kevin Payne. Put in some really, really good performances, did Andreas. So that's what we saw in the second half of the night. This is how the table looks. As you can see, Andreas Harrison leading the way, 14 points. The winner of Group B from Tommy Lisman in second position. Steve West finishing third. Didn't actually win a game in terms of tonight's action. And the two Kevs, well, they're the bottom two, the back markers in terms of the bottom two. As I say, Matt's alongside me. Let's begin with Andreas Harrison. Just first two games tonight was just absolutely excellent, wasn't he?
He was. He really stepped it up tonight. The performance, different level. Went back to the darts he played on Monday, and it almost seems crazy now that, you know, the odds compilers gave up on him as favourite, put him out to second favourite, and it was almost a question mark, wasn't it? But we said he's got to come good at some point. He had to start playing the darts that we know he's capable of, and he really did put it together tonight. And actually, when you look at the table, it looks like a bit of formality. When you look at how clear he's won it by, only losing the one game, but when you're in the middle of it and you're trying to unveil that story, there's question marks. He answered them all. And that's why earlier in the week I said Andreas Harrison is ready, because every question that's been put forward to him here, he's answered it now. Now he's got the biggest question of them all. Can he win another week?
It does feel like, though, we're getting to a point of Andreas that there's just no surprises with him anymore.
No, and I think what we're seeing is a bit more reliability. Yes, it's not been there all week. We've questioned that at times. But ultimately, he's ended up doing it comfortably. Even when he's not been at his best, he's found a comfortable passage through. And he's found it through one of the hardest groups of the week. Group B always traditionally serves us up a bit of a treat. It's always close and competitive. And Andreas Harrison at times has looked irresistible. Today, in just the way he's reacted to setbacks and situations, we've got a real good showdown coming our way tomorrow. Because we've got two real big hitters. One of them here and the other one in Derek Colson.
In terms of Steve West, obviously somebody that's won so many weekly titles before. What happened tonight, in your opinion, with him?
We're not talking about that Steve West, though, are we? This is a different Steve West. This is a Steve West that's had a bit of time off, lost that fluency, and has just struggled to regain it. Now, he's still got a lot of mastery in there, a lot of deep understanding of the game, and that's why he's producing and able to get through, but he will feel that little edge out the game. He'll feel that he's not gripping the darts right, he's not throwing the darts right. He's still trying to work all that out. He's still trying to work out how to be comfortable on the hockey again, how to compete. He didn't compete tonight. He lost every single game of which he's played. The damage was done yesterday. And yesterday he said he didn't really feel very comfortable. So there's nothing really happening away from the hockey, extrinsically, that's going to give him the confidence.
Tomorrow, though, it'd just be different ball game, right? Different ballpark. I mean, this Saturday night where he does his bits, isn't it?
Bit of atmosphere changes everything. Instant feedback. It's quite tricky when you look around and you're in an empty room. It's a different environment. But just having that little bit of instant feedback when he does something good, that little ripple of applause, that little bit of reaction, I think that's what he needs right now.
So, Tommy Lisman, third place in the table. And it was interesting, obviously, hearing from him in the studio a few moments ago about, obviously, things going on in terms of not playing too much. The Pro Tour call-ups are kind of been the basis of his play over the course of the last few months or so. And one of the things that I asked him was when it clicked, it clicked. And that certainly felt the case that maybe he was kind of using these few days to kind of play himself into form. So if he could get through to Saturday night, that's maybe the point where he was able to strike.
Do you know what I really took from that? And this is probably just my interpretation of it, but I didn't really listen to the words he said. I was watching it, and although he was speaking and I was hearing the things, the main takeaway for me was the fact that he was sat here with a big beaming smile on his face. And that, for me, was the big telling factor. Steve West came up here and played down his chances. You know, we've seen Keegan Brown come up here and he wasn't bullish. He was happy, but he was also a little bit safe about things. Scott Baker was relieved. Tommy Lisman so far is the only player we've seen that's had a big smile on his face and almost really proud of what they've achieved. He's going to go into tomorrow and it's almost going to be like, I'm not going to say free roll because it's not free roll. You're playing for £5,000 to play in Champions Week. But he's going to go into there maybe not as expectant as the others, maybe feeling like he's already achieved something, going in there with a lot less weight and baggage.
In terms of Kevin Painter, it's really good to see him back on the stage again. Really good to see him playing with some fluency. I know he's had the odd issue in there, but actually it's nice to see him play some decent stuff over the last couple of days.
There were some good moments, wasn't there? The win over Steve West, he'll be happy with that. The win over Kevin Edwards, he'll be happy with that. A couple of wins for Kevin Painter, a 1-4-5 finish, a couple of 180s. The doubling was exceptional from Kevin Painter over the last couple of days. There is plenty in there for him to go away and be happy with and be, you know, to sort of do it locally, to do it on exhibitions is one thing, but to do it on a stage like this under the cameras, I think that makes a big difference. We saw improvement when he played Mervyn King recently, so I think he's going the right way. He's trending the right way. There's so much for him to be positive about. He got competitive at times. You could see it in his face. You could see the reactions. Good to see.
Let's have a look at the tournament bracket then, because the week has been completed now in terms of the qualification phase. Derek Coulson won Group A on Wednesday afternoon. Keegan Brown and Scott Baker booked their places through Group C in the afternoon. And tonight, Andreas Harrison, Tommy Lisman and Steve West booking their places through Group B. So that's the tournament bracket. This is how things will break down going into tomorrow night's action here. Group 1, Derek Coulson, Tommy Lisman, Scott Baker. And I think really the eye naturally draws to Group 2, Harrison, Brown and West.
Coulson in Group 1, Harrison in Group 2. They're separated. I think we're on a collision course for Andreas Harrison, Derek Coulson to give us one of the greatest finals of the series.
Who else could strike it? Obviously, you've spoken about Derek and Andreas being the two players in your eyes, but who else could have a bit of an impact tomorrow evening?
Do you know what? I'm going to be very silly, and I'm going to do that thing where you sort of not fully dismissed, but I think the story's about those two. I think it's about Andreas Harrison and Derek Coulson. I think the rest are playing for places. I think they've got the highest ceilings. I think it's going to be one of those two. I can't see them both failing on the night. And I think anything other than that final would probably surprise me.
And it has been a series where the cream has risen to the top. If the last series was about opportunity, this one's been about the big guns striking their place.
Yeah, experience, hasn't it? You know, we've had nights like this before where we've had big hitters, haven't we? Remember the night Wesley Plazia played here last year, and we looked at the potential winners, and it ended up being a debutant coming through and taking it. So anything can happen. It's cup final night. You know, there's loads of short format games. Anyone can lose one of those in quick succession. It just takes a couple of moments, 5 minutes of good darts. But when there's two in there, one can get caught out. I can't see them both.
Be interesting to watch. We'll watch it tomorrow night. Thank you so much for your company as ever, Matt. Plenty coming up across Pluto TV. Not tomorrow, this is coming up in a minute. Simon Whitlock and Mason Whitlock on the Oki. That's coming up in a few moments' time. And then ahead of Saturday's final, plenty of other programming for you across Pluto TV. Phil Taylor will be revealing the stories and the tricks behind winning 16 world titles tomorrow afternoon. Then that's followed by a break of throw series from 4:45. And then finals night will get underway Saturday from 7:30 p.m. All the action, as ever, it's going to be live here on Pluto TV. But as far as tonight is concerned, it was the super sweet Andreas Harrison that was the sweetest of them all. We'll see you tomorrow night. Take care. Bye-bye for now.
What a finish! What a man!
The drum roll finishes, and the target is hit.
And that was it!
And it comes on finals night, and it's another
Andreas, dirty